imagine it being more total flight time if it doesn't have a layover. Like that would be pretty impressive.
And you don't have to risk more complications.
It's true. With connecting flights, with
like
delays, you can miss your connection, and then risk having a lot of more airport time.
Yeah, and it's like the takeoff and the landing are like
they're the most
my
stressful
favorite parts.
Well,
yeah,
for most people, they're the most stressful parts.
And I mean, if you can do an 11-hour flight, you can do like if you can do an 11-hour flight, you can do a 15-hour flight.
You can.
She really wants like to walk around, but that's like after
she can
3 hours.
She can walk to the bathroom.
Yeah, exactly.
You can walk to the bathroom. Yep.
Which I'm hoping.
Are you paying the like $8,000 for the business class?
No, I was gonna do 5,500, but that's just too much. With me getting a new place, so
Crazy low ratio on that. Like 8 regular tickets for the price of 1 business class or something like that.
Yeah.
And then the first class
yeah.
was what, like
20
grand?
I mean, I was looking. I could
Well-
get a much cheaper business class, but it's all Air Canada.
You'd be surprised, like some of like the countries you wouldn't associate with having good stuff will actually have like one of the higher rated airliners. So you can't. It's hard to make assumptions with that.
I just mean we can't do it.
Right.
Unless you fly to Canada first.
Well, I'm worried about the DUI layover. I was reading like that could be an issue.
Wait,
Huh.
what?
That you
Like,
as a
you
DUI.
can't go
You can't enter Canada if you have a DUI.
Or it's not a guarantee. Like you might have
Yeah.
to jump through some hoops or something, but it's just a risk that.
Even if you have no
It's
intention
not
of staying
necessary.
in the country.
That's what it sounds like.
That's ridiculous.
Like they could
They
turn
might
you
just
around.
send you packing.
They could technically return you to the U.S. Like they're not guaranteed to let you go through
That
to
is
the next.
that's mind-boggling. They really take that seriously up there, huh?
But didn't they say something about after like 5 years or something? Like it's not like on your record or something like that anymore. But like
Has it
it's,
been 5 years?
Mine's not over 5 years.
Yeah. We're streaming.
but like it,
Okay.
but it still holds for like 55 years or something like that. But after like the 5 years, it's if you get another one, it's your first offense again. Something weird like that.
Well, that's like a U.S. law. But
Yeah.
there's also a Canada thing. Like after 5 years, you can apply that you've been redeemed.
I've been redeemed. I'm a new
Yeah.
man.
I can go to Canada then.
Yeah. Nice. Well,
And normally I don't think Thomas would ever care about going to Canada, but in this situation, it would have been okay.
There's felony charges in Canada.
They look down upon him.
Mm-hmm.
yep. So you drive on the left up here.
I'm a risk to their society.
You're
I'm
still-
a
you're still
troublemaker.
on
Well, last session, you guys got a strange letter from W. Gretzy,
That we didn't
which you
care about.
promptly ignored.
As we were told to
Yes.
by the book.
You bespoke the end of day a couple of times to get strained visions of the monoliths moving north, and they indeed led you north to Scotland, where you hopped from small town to small town, some no larger than 100 souls, on decrepit roads, and you did indeed come to a monolith, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you wanted to return to town to get equipment, and the car is in bad condition.
Well, so am I.
Yes, yes, you took a bullet to the stomach.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah. So do we have a calendar date?
That all happened on the 24th.
Okay. Which means that I think you're in Canich, where you received medical attention and a recommendation of at least 1 week's bed rest.
Yep.
Okay. Yep, then I think we're caught up. So you received surgery that night. So I think we can go to the morning of the 25th. We can
Okay.
recover 1 HP, studs.
Hell yeah.
Yep. You have plenty of time to read books in German.
I'm above half.
Nice. Anyone else who has sustained damage may also recover 1 HP.
You guys got damage.
Time to post you up near that stone again.
Can I have father psychoanalysis myself
Yes.
as well?
What do you know? What caused your most recent trauma? What incident it was?
Seeing Biggs get carried away.
That was ages ago.
It was a long
Was
time
it?
ago.
Then it's gonna be the German book when that's done. Well, the German book technically will be
Today.
Will be today.
Yep.
So I'll have him do it tomorrow.
Okay. You can put in your appointment book that you got a
I'm gonna need to talk to you tomorrow.
upcoming session.
Because
with
we
Dan.
already rolled for all that, and I added my
Yes,
mythos,
yes.
and I've lost
You've
my
got
sanity.
you've got your mythos skill and sanity loss incoming.
I already had it.
You've applied it. Okay.
Yeah,
Yep.
we applied
It's
it
just
last
not-
time, and then we realized that
Yep.
because I don't speak German, it should
yeah.
take longer.
All right. Very good. So it's the 25th. The weather, it's not snowing today, but it remains unpleasant and cool. But you do have some daylight. I believe. Did you get the car back to town?
Nope.
No, it's out towards the direction of the lock on that really crappy road. And you're at the guest house in Canich. Let me see what the name of that is. The Glenafrey Guest House. Yep. Mr. and Mrs. Harris.
Are we looking for a tractor?
I forgot.
I think you guys wanted to try to lift it.
We're trying
out
to
of
yank
place.
it.
Out
Yeah,
of
we're
place.
trying to topple over the pillar so the big sack doesn't come up.
You wanted a rope,
Mm-hmm.
but since we don't really have a car,
So you need tractors and ropes.
that's right.
Okay.
What happened to our truck? Oh, we hid it in the woods.
Yep. With
And we took a
a
train.
Byakhee corpse in it.
We had a car.
We took a train here, didn't we?
No, but
You
we had
did.
a car.
It got stuck.
Yeah, it's stuck.
And it's not the car we hid.
No, that was a truck.
This one we are on the way back from the.
That truck's way back in like Birmingham or Liverpool or Manchester. Yeah, you hit the truck near Manchester.
Well, let's find a tractor to borrow.
That's you guys.
Okay. You may attempt this feat. What's your method? Are you gonna go home to home?
I mean, we're gonna walk around town and
Okay.
spy a tractor.
I want to take it
All right, roll luck.
at market value.
Depends how lucky I am. I am lucky.
Okay. You see a tractor, and there's even a for sale sign on it.
Very lucky.
Rip that off and it's just taken.
What do you want for it?
Tobias Boucher is selling it. He's standing next to the tractor with his arms folded.
Just all day.
Perfect.
Just
Waiting.
waiting.
What time
Yeah, in
is
this small village.
it? Is it 2 a.m.?
No, it's morning.
All right.
He says, "Well, I'm packing up, leaving Canich, and well,
So you're a
Well-
motivated seller.
yeah, you could say that."
Let's do some bargaining.
Bargain.
Are you
Okay.
good at that?
I got 30.
He's asking.
I have 55.
Why?
Because I've never played this.
Sell
game.
your poems?
I believe at some point.
I think they have motorized tractors by now.
Someone convinced me
Better.
to get bargaining.
They got motorized cars.
They do.
So
Oh yeah, it's the
No
20s.
brainer.
Oh yeah, of course. Okay. I would like £70 sterling.
This guy.
Did you already roll your bargain?
No, roll
Alright.
it right now. No,
Okay.
but I'll offer him 50.
65.
55.
What possessions do you have on you?
An elephant gun.
Anything else?
No.
He takes a wary glance.
It's alright, Dad. 65 it is. I'll cover it.
All right.
If you throw in some ropes.
Yes. Yes.
You want some rope too?
That's
All
right.
right. You can have some rope.
Nice.
You can add 100 feet of rope.
And tracked.
Is there other like simple materials that I'm forgetting that you would need to like attach a rope to an
I mean,
obelisk
you
and
just
pull it?
tie it up.
Do we need something to climb? Like be able to tie it? We just tie it around the base. Do we know how to tie knots?
I don't know. Maybe the poet guy. Maybe one of the homeless dudes has to know.
Yeah, you're right. Actually.
Okay. So you got 100 feet of rope, your tractor, and I believe 3 laborers still.
We're gonna load the homeless up on that tractor and ride towards the lake.
All right.
We had 7 goons at one point.
No, we didn't.
5 in the car, 1 on the floor, and 1 in the truck.
Oh, you mean including us?
Yeah, I guess you're right. Then what happened?
We have a driver,
Yeah.
so he's still with us.
Is that 8? No, that's of the 7. So driver, us 3,
And 3.
3 goons. Okay.
Yeah.
Did anything happen to one of them?
Mm-hmm.
What happened?
What?
We unleashed Tyrone, right?
Yeah. Did he get sick or something?
No, I thought it was just a show of force, and then they didn't want any parts of us, so we just
But
left.
we
on
lost
our way.
a homeless guy, I thought.
Oh,
Somewhere.
we got
along.
sick. Someone got sick.
That's what I thought.
But that was that might have been before the car, though.
That
I think it
happened on November 21st.
No, because
Good day.
that was on the way.
We were
where we
pushing
dropped
the truck.
Yeah,
Oh,
we
yeah.
still had the truck at that time. So
Because I remember this because I wrote left 1 fake hard body.
I'm pretty sure you do have
Because he
3.
wasn't hard body enough to push the truck.
Okay.
Current 3.
So
Load him up on the motorized tractor and let's go.
All right. I'll take a natural history or a navigate to return to the monolith in a expedient fashion.
My best is 10.
My best is 10.
All right.
But between the driver and the 3 homeless guys?
That's true.
Yeah, I got it.
500. That's
All right.
terrible.
How about Thomas?
You got this. Nope.
Was it within? If you doubled
No.
it? No. Okay.
Oh, it was way more than double.
Nope. You have the driver driving the tractor.
Of course.
Okay.
That's his job.
All right.
Yeah, otherwise
He
we'd
drives.
Be in a ditch with a rope around our necks.
Yeah.
It takes the better part of the day to get back out there. But by mid-afternoon, you return to the monolith.
Going like 5 miles an hour.
He was being very cautious because
That's good.
you see your car in the ditch like on the way back, so it's like half covered by like a snowdrift. But here you guys are back at the monolith.
Alright. Let's rig it up.
Did you rent the tractor or buy it?
Rigatoni.
He purchased it. He's the owner of that tractor now.
We'll be riding it back to London.
Okay. The hobos tie 2 ropes around the monolith.
Good.
You see them doing their best sailor's knots on it.
Good.
Start tugging. welcome tie this up?
It's tied.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Have,
So,
have the driver start pulling?
yeah, rev it up.
Should we have a couple of them try pushing at
Yeah.
the same time?
Yeah, that's right.
All right. How exactly do you want to divide the labor here? So just the
Strongest
one man.
The driver's driving.
Yep.
And then you got like 2 of the hard bodies pushing on the stone.
All right.
Is it important to have the tractor weighed down? Nah, it's not significant. It's already heavy. And we'll be sitting
Is that
in
a
it.
factor
I don't know.
as far as pulling strength?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it can't be lighter than the object you're pulling. We might be in trouble.
But I mean, I don't know.
We're gonna try.
Okay.
For some of the
Someone can roll a D100.
Coming up.
Okay.
27.
That's
Okay.
solid.
That was important.
Nice.
You the soil seems to have frozen. That definitely works against you. You hear the engine of the tractor straining. You hear your hard bodies grunting with tremendous exertion.
That guy sold us a lemon.
You see
Get your money back.
you see the coils of the rope just incredibly taut little wires starting to spring loose. And just as the smoke from the tractor's engine starts just billowing up, you're able to hear like this crackling sound as the soil is like getting rent where the monolith was, and it tumbles over.
Yes.
yeah. Next shop, we don't know if that's going to do anything.
That's a big deal. Otherwise,
I
they
mean-
wouldn't have put it there.
It's true.
So now we roll it into the lake.
Think?
Yeah.
Is
You
that
put
what-
two
is that what-
two tree
hold on.
logs,
What
put
if
it
that's
underneath,
what summons the
and
thing?
use those tree logs.
Yeah.
To roll it.
What if that's what summons the thing?
Putting it in the lake.
He would have saw that.
Yeah. They were all.
In your vision,
they were all
standing?
upright. Yeah.
Oh, alright, yeah, let's dump them. But
We've
then can
already
someone
changed
retrieve
the
'em?
vision.
Can someone retrieve them?
I don't know. It depends how deep the lake is. You might need like a crane or something.
How can we tell?
A
how deep
motorized crane. You put a stick in like your gas tank.
We don't have it long enough. We need to send one. We need to tie the rope to one of them and have them deep dive.
One of the hard bodies.
Yeah.
Okay.
See if they're
Why does it matter how deep
Fish
the lake
body
is?
It's probably pretty cold.
Yeah, it's middle of
They
winter.
can
There's
figure
probably
that out.
there's probably ice. Are we in the middle of? We're in November. Yeah, we're in.
How are we gonna get the
I guess not the middle of winter, but it's
I
snowing.
mean, if there's ice,
Is there
it'll
ice?
sink through the. It just break the ice. We'll sink down.
How do
They
we
won't.
get it? How do we get it onto the ice without being on the ice ourselves?
We just roll it.
Alright.
We're gonna roll it.
Okay.
So we toppled it. We dragged it a little bit away from the spot.
Yeah.
Then we're gonna get out and see if it's rollable.
Yeah.
Is it a perfect cylinder?
No. That would be insane.
I figured it's.
I thought it was like an obelisk.
Yeah.
It's much closer to an obelisk.
So it's more like triangular.
Yeah, it does have a
Square.
point. It has a pointed
Square.
top.
It's like a pyramid shape.
Yeah,
Okay.
kind of.
But I mean, you can roll.
Okay. Where's my little?
Probably like that.
Okay.
I have a lot of doodles. I realized. I doodle on my
Oh,
calendar, especially.
There's a
when
river that
Injured.
feeds into the lock. The river is about like a 20th of a mile from you. If you wanted to roll it all the way down into the lock,
Yeah.
that is a few miles. Like you can see the lake in the distance
We're
from there.
that far from
Yeah.
the lake. But in my vision, I was like above the lake, right?
You were above the lake.
And
in
I
your vision.
saw all the stones.
You were that far
I mean,
above it.
You had a view of a wide area.
And they're just like out in the open.
You saw them surrounding the lake roughly in a V-shaped pattern. If you roll a no, I can give you a more specific like sketch.
Uh-huh.
Did you succeed?
I have 99 no. Yeah.
That's incredible. All right.
He knows all. He's a seasoned everything.
Dick game knows all.
I'm gonna make a little sketch on the back of your sheet.
maybe the tractor can just pull it towards the lake.
Well, we can't get it into the lake.
Well, then we could just roll it in.
That's what I was thinking. You guys just pull it closer.
Would I ever actually want to get a $230,000 condo?
No.
It's a lot to invest in a condo.
That's what I thought.
Yep.
I feel like at that point, if you can afford that, you should be able to afford a smaller house, which might be able to. You can. It's a bigger return on investment than a condo is.
Small old house.
Yeah. I would rather just. I would honestly just get a cheaper condo until you have more of a credit history and have a longer job history, I guess, with YouTube.
Was
That
that
would
like
be-
a factor? Like, were you trying to get a house? Or was it just the money?
I mean,
credit
everyone
thing?
wants a house.
I think he was trying. He just gonna get the loan he wanted. I think, wasn't it?
Yeah, they bumped up my mortgage loan, so I'm in possibly a house range.
I mean, you could always have people come and fix it up too. Then you're adding value to it if you wanted to sell it later.
Yeah. Location's really like the most important.
Which is weird for a person that works from home.
Yeah, but you guys all come to my home.
Yeah. You're gonna have a. So you're gonna have a.
The one I
ultimate
circled.
D&D room
The one I circled is the
everything
one
but
you guys
D&D.
discovered.
That'd be cool.
for everything but D&D. This is what anytime anyone asks me if what I'm doing, I always say D&D because like saying RPG is like if you're a gamer, you think of like video games, and if you have no idea what I'm talking about, then you don't know what RPG means. But everyone knows what D&D means.
I feel like D&D has more negative connotation
I don't care.
than the mysterious RPG.
I'm just there. I'm just there to try to get them to understand it quickly.
Who are you talking to all these people about RPGs?
What? People ask me if I'm free on Mondays and stuff.
What is this?
This is where we are. That's stone. That's the
Is
river.
that the Loch Ness?
Yeah.
What do you write down there? The Loch?
Loch.
Yep.
Oh, we're actually at the river Loch.
Not Loch Ness though.
Loch is like Scottish for lake.
Oh. I thought it was the Loch.
That's nearby.
That's
But
Loch Ness.
this is just a loch.
This is how the Loch Ness monster.
I feel like
is born.
their positioning is really important
Do you
for
think that
whatever
my
ritual.
gigantic sack was an egg, and then it's actually going to be over the Loch Ness, and then that's going to have the Loch Ness monster in it?
Was it an egg or did it have a face?
Now you're thinking
I don't
sense.
know.
That's Lovecraftian stuff.
If we just push it into the river, that's gotta like disrupt their magic spell.
Oh, let me view that again. Let's view the river. Okay, so hold on. Let me look at this more carefully. We're at the lake. These are like all over the place. We're in a line.
There's a lot of them.
I thought they were around the river.
Vaguely.
Yeah, I mean, I guess river. And we're just trying to scatter them as much as we can.
I think so. And I don't know if our tractor's gonna be able to do much more.
I mean, without dynamite, I don't.
Ooh. Where the fuck would we get that?
But putting it in the river is good. Just
Monument
hiding
store.
Because the people aren't going to know that's where it is unless it's obvious
Mm-hmm.
that we dragged it there. Which it probably is.
And I mean, this is probably going down pretty soon, so we can just sort of wait out.
So we hide it and we need to come back with dynamite.
Okay.
I assume it's going.
I mean,
down.
it's gotta be a mother bitch to get that stone out of that river.
I don't know what device you use. You have to have deep sea divers. You have to have
Motorized
Need
cranes.
James Cameron to
at
come
least
with his crew.
at least 40 hard bodies
Yeah.
Yeah.
that are also
That's
deep sea
hard to
divers.
We
coordinate.
need a crew in the winter too.
in the winter. So let's roll.
Hopefully it's a deep river.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise we can go all the way to the lake. Or was that like a really long time?
Like a couple miles.
What's that, like 10 minutes?
I mean, our
Oh,
tractor
dude.
is
Was smoking.
iffy.
It was smoking?
It was smoking.
Like, it's calming down, but
Mhm.
you definitely pushed it to its limit
Alright.
and had more than a little luck getting that one, like, out of the frozen soil that it was just, like, basically staked into.
Roll it.
I'm gonna roll it in the river.
Yes.
Who's gonna participate?
The hard bodies.
Okay.
Obviously.
And
Dr. Gaines.
I guess we
What's
can,
your
all, we
strength?
can all try. I have 11 strength.
He was the weakest of the
with
games.
my 12 strength, I guess I would have to step in.
Okay.
We'll all...
We'll all assist, even the driver.
You're the weakest of the games, but yet I'm the bastard child.
I mean, you're my child.
You're also poor.
Yeah.
So you're weak and poor.
Well, I'm stronger
Which
than.
is
I'm stronger
anathema
than,
to the
stronger than-
Gaines family.
I'm stronger than Dr. Gaines.
Yeah, what about your size?
My size is 9. I'm a shrimp.
See, I have
But-
15 size. That's what matters in the game families. It's not like we arm wrestle. We just assume I'm stronger because I'm bigger.
Yeah. You've already proven
That's not the
you don't need to
family
prove
works.
yourself because you're bigger. That no
Yeah.
feats of strength are necessary.
I've never had a contest on strength because it was just like you are the smallest, so therefore you are the weakest.
I mean, when
Small
does that
and
come up?
poor.
When's the last time you like arm wrestled your dad?
My dad, I've never arm wrestled my father.
Exactly.
No, it just doesn't happen.
No.
He's just-
Nothing needs to be said. Yep. All right. Let's see. With that slope, yeah, probably if you just can get a little bit, you'll probably have the benefit of a slope down into the riverbank. So,
See, all of this is in the campaign book. That means we're on the right track.
well, I mean, I have this area. Yes. Yeah.
Like, so there's a possibility they expected
yeah,
us
they
to come
expected us to
Yeah.
be rolling down these stones into the river.
All right.
here. Like, how deep is
It
the
specifically
river?
said, "Oh, it says you could roll the stones."
With everyone participating,
Yes.
you all get cold and tired, but you're able to eventually get it into the water. It's probably 4 in the afternoon by this point.
Let's go get dinner.
Yeah, it's hungry word.
We saved the world from the sack monster.
Okay.
Wait, hold on. Let's look at our tracks. Is it obvious? Like, is there a trail of like this is?
Yeah,
where it went?
well, like the snow was. I mean, you were rolling this huge thing right over, so it
Did
leaves
it
this
turn into a
nice.
snowball?
Like how big? Like if I were to get down and roll around next to the trail, would it look even? Like it just
No, because it. I mean,
Is
it
it
has a lot more
snowing?
depth than not right now.
It's tough. We can't conceal our tracks, can we?
Not without probably several hours of labor, but that would just make the whole area look like a mess instead of just this one area. So
I don't think we're gonna be able to hide it.
No.
So
All right. They can just see.
Okay,
let's ride the tractor back to town.
how many are gonna ride the tractor?
All.
Okay,
We all throw it in.
all right, roll
we
luck.
are all riding
Roll
out.
luck, Thomas.
Yeah. Should have 10
It's gonna be parked right next to our car.
That's a lot for
The
that.
graveyard.
38. Okay, it's sputtering, but it makes it back to town.
Yeah. What a great day.
Yeah.
Gotta love those one car uses that we didn't get.
Burner car. I need a burner car. That's a really big thing to do.
Yeah.
All
Where did we
right.
drive here? What happened to it?
It's stuck in
It
the
got
mud.
yeah.
Oh.
There's like muddy turf and snow. It's just horrible. I mean, this is an unpaved single lane road that led out to the lake. It's not really.
They're not getting a
If
crane.
the tractor wasn't, we need a new tractor to pull up the car.
Or you could have.
Tractors all the way down.
Yep.
Keep looking for new
All right.
tractors. Don't
You
sputter.
guys make it back to you make it back to the Glenafrey guest house by 6.
Excellent.
You finish reading the book, so now that's all applied.
Alright.
You know the spell, and roll a d10.
Now I never have to cast it again.
D10?
Yep. This is nothing to do with sanity. Don't worry.
3.
Okay, you have 3 in German now.
Yes.
It's that easy.
Yeah.
read
You
a
just
German.
spend like 9 days
Sit
of
there
torturous
staring
reading.
at a
Yeah.
book.
Yep. Well, Grandpa helped you sometimes too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Grandpa read me book.
All right. Yep. There's never too many people at the guest house for dinner. You see one gentleman at a table wearing a black trench coat and a wide-brimmed black hat, and it's hard to really discern any of his facial features from under.
Should I shoot him now, or should we drag him outside first?
Who?
You know
So
the people that brought the stones here
Yeah.
are still going to be around here.
Yeah.
There's a guy in a black trench coat in the corner.
Of the road.
We're in the fucking guest house.
Oh my god.
I'm not even like a part of this campaign, and I'm still
He's
paying more attention.
He's bedridden.
In our guest house?
Yeah, it's the only guest house in Canich.
Who gave us
Canich
this
is
house?
like 112
It's-
people. No, you're like in a room in this house,
Oh, it's
all
like
of
an
you.
inn, so it's
Yeah.
like a guest.
It is, yeah.
So it's like an inn. I mean, you could just be anybody.
In a black trench coat and a hat.
Show them the symbol.
I didn't have that.
That was big.
That was,
I mean, that
he
would've-
had his
that would've
prize.
put an end to it.
He had
but
his prize napkin, and then he had his tattoos.
I can show him the barrel of my gun.
I can just say, Kaiwan.
There you go.
You want to go up to his table?
And I'm gonna go up to him. I'm just
from
gonna
across
say it.
the hall. Kaiwan?
Yeah, I'm just gonna say like loudly to Mr. Gaines. I'm gonna say like
So,
Kaiwan.
Kaiwan?
I'll just say it loudly and just kind of look
and study his
at your
reaction. Okay. You see, again, you can't see like anything of his face. It's like perfect anime, like obscuring big hat. But he like raises his mug when you say that, and then he puts it back down.
Nobody but cultists are raising mugs to Taiwan.
Well, I'm gonna think about your thing to say.
I'm gonna blow his head off.
What more evidence do you need?
Yeah.
You say a random name in an inn, and somebody
if
guy's like,
you-
hell
If you
yeah!
had said Taiwan, he wouldn't have done
What if you
that.
thought I said Taiwan? He's Taiwanese.
Okay, well, let's go look at
Oh,
him.
it's the 1920s. He's not gonna be in Scotland.
A Taiwanese man in Scotland
No.
in a black trench coat.
In blizzard conditions.
That's enough to get your head blown off.
You're right.
It's enough to get it.
I can't argue. It's a good.
Alright. We've established it's a cultist, so...
But in the eyes of the law, like we might need more.
You think
probable
there's
cause.
law out here in Canich?
Canich, yeah.
We're the
Yeah.
law. How do you want to play it? We got some hard bodies at our disposal with hammers.
Is there any-
Sledgehammer.
Who's around in here? Is it literally just us and him?
No, it's all of you guys.
7 people in black trench coats
Nope.
that you didn't notice
It's
before.
It's Mr. and Mrs. Harris, who run the guest house. And there's like the farmer who sold you the
He hasn't left yet.
No, he's
regretting
trying
stuff.
to.
He's just
Well,
like, oh, man, I
he
needed
needs
that
to
tractor.
arrange transportation out of town because like nobody has a car. So.
And he doesn't have a
Well, he
tractor.
thinks-
Yeah.
If this guy thinks that we're in on this whole cult stuff, we should call him over and like have a drink with him. Try and get some info.
Why would you trust us?
He just raised your mug after you said Taiwan.
Right.
He thinks we're part of the cult.
Did you see like? Do you know what the name of that sack thing is?
No, yes.
It didn't announce it, so.
It's the Loch Ness Monster. I'm telling you.
I feel like we don't know enough to appear like we're in on it.
What's the worst that could happen?
You get more information and you
Yeah,
shoot
I
the
guess
man.
you're right. I guess you're right.
He's gonna die anyways, so.
Yeah. What if he turns us to ash?
Well, then we're fucked either way.
Then Morgan Gaines will take over the campaign.
Fate worse than death. Although it is conditional on death. Alright, let's call him over. Mr. Quarry?
No, why would
Oh, that was out of character.
Okay, you made it sound a lot like.
Yeah, you made that sound like it was more in character than any of the other conversations.
That was out of character. That's great.
Alright, now we resume. Campaign.
Alright,
Now.
start.
Mr. Kaiwan?
friend care to join us?
Yes, of course. He brings his drink over. You see, as he sits down, you can get a little bit more of his facial features.
Is he Taiwanese?
No, he's very tan.
Like that.
You see his left eye is orange and has like a glassy coloration to it, and it must be that either he's come from like a soot-covered mine or something of that nature, because there's this cloud of thin smoke that seemed to travel with him from his table.
Could be covered in people dust.
It's terrifying. So what kind of work brings you here?
He says, "Oh well, I get around. I enjoy traveling throughout the Isles and abroad. And unfortunately, the conditions aren't suitable for tourism, so I don't expect I'll be staying very long."
Sure, after the deed is done, there's no need to stay.
Yes, I couldn't agree more.
Where are the others?
Oh, the other stones.
No, we know where those are.
You do. Perhaps you need assistance.
Assistance is always welcome.
Alright. You see, he just shakes his sleeves a bit, and you see
Skin falls off.
No, you see a stick of dynamite come out of one of his sleeves.
It's like Santa
I
Claus.
don't know who this is anymore.
He says, however many sticks you want, I can arrange it. And if you want a vamoose after the job is done, I have a quick means back to London if you're interested as well.
Very.
So shall we do business?
That's what we're here for.
Good.
Can I do a psychology check?
Sure.
He's clearly insane.
Does he seem like a cultist?
Well, let's see.
shaking dynamite.
Let's see what your psychology tells you.
63 out of 95.
Okay.
Or does he seem like a generous?
He's either a
genuine minor?
cultist or a sprawl character.
You've never encountered like a more opaque personality to read. Like it's almost impossible to discern anything from him.
He was sent here.
You have a slight unsettling feeling speaking with him. There's something just off about him. His appearance, what he's offering, this all just very, very
As I
strange.
say, like how? This
He
all just seems very unlikely. Like, why would you be waiting here with an unlimited amount of dynamite and a ride to London?
Why would
Yeah,
you
we
mention the stones to me with our no prior conversation?
This is fate.
You thought
Yes.
I had an understanding.
You should listen to your father.
See, he even knows I'm your dad.
Now, he takes out a book and has a pen, and he says, "How many sticks of dynamite should I mark you down for?"
100.
He says, "That would be a very heavy price."
8.
Okay.
Maybe 10. Even 10. Baker's dozen.
Okay.
Perfect. He writes that down in his book. Then he says, and I also offer expedient transport to London, private transportation.
Plane?
Yes. You will take to the sky.
That's all suspicious.
Yeah, I don't know about that. We can arrange our own transportation. Just the dynamite.
He says, "I'm afraid I must insist on the transportation. It's for a friend. I'd like to send a little business his way every now and then."
That sounds so scary.
Oh my god.
Referring to Quarry?
No, not Mr. Quarry.
Who is your friend?
A
I mean, surely you want to advertise his business if you're trying to give him customers.
I just call him Mr. N. I don't know his proper name.
How many dynamite sticks did he roll out?
Well, he showed like a couple, but he
That's a couple more than we have.
Alright.
I mean, he's written down 10 sticks of dynamite in his book.
So if we do this, when would you be able to deliver the dynamite?
Immediately. Yes.
Alright. Then you have a deal.
The transportation is included.
Sure.
I just require... Okay, he adds that line below the 10 sticks of dynamite, turns the book around, slides it towards you. You see there's a line for you to give your signature.
I sign.
Okay. You see the moment you're finished, he slams the book just as you're able to get your hand like out of the way. Excellent, excellent. Well, it's been a pleasure. Oh, yes, when you're ready for your pickup, he digs in his pocket and hands you a whistle. And he says, blow this.
Alright. Does it look like the whistle that killed Big?
No.
Okay.
It's certainly odd. It's not like a typical whistle, but it has a distinct appearance from that.
When I'm ready to leave or when I'm ready for the delivery?
When you're ready for your transportation.
Okay.
The dynamite is immediate.
Oh yeah, the dynamite is immediate.
It is, yes.
So do you have that in your sleeves?
He's like, where did I put those? He stands up. You see it just all falls out from under his coat. You see 10 sticks. And, like, as you see it just all on the floor, when you look up, he is no longer there.
Oh my god.
You see the guest keeper say, is there a problem over there?
No problem at all.
Yeah, this is pretty good. Alright, Thomas, roll sanity.
Oh, you about to die.
8.
That's
pass.
That's a pass. Okay. You take 2 sanity loss as you realize you've made a dark pact with some sort of mythos creature. As you see permanently seared into your vision, just kind of like in the corner of one of your in the corner of your left eye, you see the terms of the agreement at all times. You may also roll a d4 and then a d3.
I found one of the dice you need. And yeah,
White boy.
the white boy.
Coming up.
Okay.
I think
4 and 3.
Yikes. Okay. You notice well, Studs is in bed. Grandpa notices his son now also has an orange glassy eye for his left eye, and the skin immediately around the eye has gone a very deathly gray hue.
Can I see?
Yes.
Okay.
You okay, boy?
I feel okay. Something wrong?
Find a mirror.
I'll gaze upon myself.
Okay. You look significantly less handsome than you remembered yourself. You've lost 2 points of appearance.
you shouldn't have looked at yourself. You would have always assumed that your appearance was the
Yep.
same.
What the hell? What have we done? What have we done for a few dynamite sticks?
But now we have dynamite.
Yes.
But at what cost? Now it kind of just seems like he wants you to have that dynamite.
But we don't know whose side he's on.
You've got some heavy munitions here.
It could be whoever is directly opposed of the.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he might
Could be
on
another
our side.
W. Gretzky type who just wants you to see the do harm to this group of people.
Alright, well, let's put it to use.
Well, it's nighttime.
Yep.
But
Perfect time for this type of work.
you want to head out there at night?
I'm gonna mark November
We'll
26th
light up the
here.
sky with explosions.
We don't have
I'm gonna write
any
November
lights
25th. Continue.
whatsoever.
Okay, you're right. We could bring a candle.
One candle in the darkness.
Doctor
That's
Dr.
very
Games,
romantic.
No, I guess let's wait.
Orange Eye.
Yep.
Early morning, first light.
Alright.
Dark Pack.
All right.
10 sticks of dynamite. Dynamite! Now, November 26th. Will you psycho analyze me now, Papa?
You could. You notice your papa is a strange looking face now.
Do I get more appearance? based
No.
on his appearance.
Tell your father about what's troubling you.
I explained the book to him.
Oh yeah, it's disturbing, and it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to you. So you can see how it could have shook your son. What treatment do you prescribe?
Describe, meditation and journaling for 2 days.
There you go. You also recover a health, Sean.
Yes,
Can I psychoanalyze?
you
and
may
say it was,
attempt.
It's a 2-day long session.
whatever. 25.
25 out of was it 70?
90.
90? Okay. Says you recover a sanity point.
Nice.
While the more of these books you read, it grows more and more difficult to distinguish reality from the wild fantasies and magical worlds promised in the books. Your father's vague advice of meditation gives you some measure of peace. So,
Alright.
yeah. You're just doubling down that your mind is everything. As long as you don't break, you'll be able to keep the two distinct. So, all right, and it's a new day.
Alright, let's round up
The hard
wounds.
bodies, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Put a dynamite in their hand.
Upgrade. from the
All hard
sledgehammer.
bodies get 2 dynamite each.
You're gonna have one person go to each stone for a synchronized demolition.
Yeah,
That would be
yeah,
incredible.
We should definitely do
If
that.
everyone knows how to
Count.
handle dynamite.
Yep.
They
I've
just
got
How
a
do you coordinate it? They're like a mile apart.
We
Yeah,
use
we'll,
signals.
Use the dynamite to signal
Yeah,
to
you've
let off.
got 2 extra. It's like, so after you just
Let
throw
those
it
off.
into the air, it explodes. It's like, okay, that's the signal.
Everyone light them up now.
Terrible.
Flare? Should we buy a flare? Or should we just... Because once it goes off, we're going to draw attention.
From who?
Yeah, but
We don't know that.
that's why you've got the convenient transportation agreement.
Exactly.
Yep.
But that's why it would be helpful if it was all at the same time. If they all went up at the same time.
I don't know how we coordinate that.
Can't be that hard. So from my memory of the lake, when I was standing at one pillar, could I see all the other ones? Like,
No.
right in sight?
All you need to do is be like,
You-
on the first explosion.
Is there other
you
clocks?
light your dynamite.
Grandpa has an idea. Grandpa has like an idea of where all of the stones are based on his dream vision.
Are there
So he
clocks?
could. Are there what?
Clocks?
Clocks?
Time has been
Motorized
Like
clocks.
pocket watches?
Yes.
Well, they do exist.
Motorized.
Are they common?
I believe there are even some early wristwatches by 1929.
Like, are they common enough to where we could all have one?
Yes.
Pocket watches are definitely.
It would be uncommon for you to not have a pocket watch in
Then I
this
think
day.
we just pick a time.
Make
The,
sure-
the
The
homeless.
homeless. They don't
the
even have
homeless-
shirts. Where are they gonna put their pocket watch?
Yeah.
They
The
don't
homeless.
need shirts, they need pants. Pockets.
I don't think they have them.
That's the uncommon.
we
thing.
wanted
We'll
homeless
give them.
people.
We'll go to a general shop
We
and buy
want-
some
we
pocket
want
watches.
people
In
that can
Canich?
Why not?
No.
No.
You're gonna have to be buying people's personal watches in Canich. There will not be a watch salesman.
You have to go.
There's like
to somebody-
110 people that live
You
here.
have to find a person that has a pocket watch.
Yeah,
and just
that's
be
the
like,
only
"I'll
way
buy
you're
that
gonna get
from
more pocket watch, unless you want to
Okay,
speak
I
with
see.
your associate again.
I'm also trying to think of the best way to use the dynamite. What is our goal?
Put it next to it. Blow it into the lake.
Each stick has
That's the
about.
only hope.
I should say there. He gave you more like bundles than sticks. So like each bundle has about 5 sticks in it.
Oh God.
Is there like a cord? Or like a like a string to light on fire?
There's like a string that's about this
A
long at the
fuse?
end of it.
Yeah.
There's a fuse that's about that long at the
A
end.
cord.
Is it wireless?
I
Is
mean,
it Bluetooth activated?
Yeah, I'm gonna use my
Remote.
smartphone.
remote detonation.
Yeah, that. No, you're a few decades off from that.
I'm just wondering because I thought like normally like there will be blood. They lit the fire, the cord,
Fuse, yeah.
the fuse. They lit it like pretty far away, alright,
Right.
and they ran away.
But
so
how
it
did
can't just
they?
be like 3 inches.
I
like, that would
never
be
saw
too
that.
short.
But I'm talking about like you just put it on the ground next to it.
what else can we do with it? We can't.
I mean, that's a
penetrate it,
lot of like wasted energy is the thing.
But we can't get it under it.
Right.
Can't get it
I
into
mean,
it.
we could maybe find a shovel and dig like a little divot next to the thing.
Then the energy just go into the ground.
But then it's more like an upward force on the
Oh, I guess. Yeah, if we
just
get under it.
horizontal.
Ooh, can we get under it?
I mean, maybe somewhat.
Is it just sitting on top of the earth?
I mean, the best thing would be like if we could actually like drill into the
Well,
stone, then we
but-
could just explode it from within, or if we had like a shaped charge that could cut into it or something. But
We don't have drills.
no, we're limited. So I think the shovel would be helpful. But you want to do this all simultaneously.
Yeah, I think pocket watches is the best. I mean, we only need to find 3. I'll go back to the guest house. I'll round up all the pocket watches. We'll synchronize them. Or here's the other thing: not everyone needs a watch. This is what it is.
That's a good campaign slogan. Not everyone needs a watch.
I think really just have everyone. There's gonna be one like lead explosion, and when people see that, they light their own.
Right.
And we just give it enough time before we light the first one.
And we're
Give
just
it enough
telling
time
them
for other people to get
to
to
just
theirs.
throw the dynamite next to the stone.
I don't know enough about demolition. Like burying it next to it, because it's not even going to be directly under it. It's like,
Even better than that, I would say would be like if we had some adhesive that could just stick to it.
why would that be any different than just placing it
Okay,
next to it?
I mean, I hate to burst your bubble. You're not going to be blasting these stones into the lake. It's just
They're not gonna go miles.
not going to happen.
Well, no, but I mean,
Really, we want to break them.
yeah, exactly.
So if it was right on it, that would be a lot better than on the ground next to it.
So just like tape it, tie it,
If we had some,
tie it. We have rope.
that's
tie
true.
it,
There we go.
that's
We'll
something.
tie it.
You definitely have enough rope that you can cut into sections to tie 8 bundles.
Okay, there you go.
Alright, that's something.
Let's get out there.
Okay. What's your method going to be? Are you going to have?
Hold up.
Okay.
Does everyone have a way to light the cord?
You just said we don't have any lights.
Right. I mean, like a match.
I don't know.
I'll buy a
That would
box
be
of
important
matches.
to figure out now, so
Yeah,
you don't have to
yeah.
say flashback.
Okay, we can buy matches
Okay.
and hold on, what else do we need? We need a longer cord. We can't just light the.
That's.
We can't just light the 2-inch thing. Everyone's gonna die.
Is it 2 inches?
No, it should last. Actually,
It should be like a minute fuse.
All right.
That's like.
All right. Tell everyone to get into position.
It's probably covered in a wax that slows the burning down.
Right.
And when they first see the first explosion, everyone light theirs and run to the lake,
Okay.
or just, you know.
Get to safety.
Yeah.
Run to the lake. Dive in the lake.
Run into the lake.
And wait for Zach Monster.
3 homeless guy just dive into the lake without shirts on.
Running around
Okay.
with stocking caps and no shirts.
That's the plan.
Okay, you can add box of, we'll say 30 matches to your inventory for 2 pounds.
Okay.
What obviously horribly overpriced, but again, things are hard to come by in this. So I'm assuming you're still comfortable parting with 2 of your pounds for that. Okay, we've got 30 matches. The difficult thing will be having like a flint box or thing to strike them with, because you can't divide that as evenly.
You just use your thumbnail.
You could tell the hard bodies to just man up, use like their whiskers on like their cheek or something. You know, they could figure something out.
Maybe a
Probably.
rock.
I mean, by a lake, you'd be able to find a lake rock easy enough.
One of those rare
All right.
lake rocks.
So it's going to be up to them to do that. Okay. And then how do you want to divide up teams then?
There are teams?
How many obelisks are there?
Well, I mean,
A lot.
Name them.
there's 8.
Name them.
I mean, how many?
That one's Steve.
Bravo, Delta,
There's 8 more.
8
No,
more.
wait.
We destroyed
There's
one.
9. Isn't there 10 of them?
Yeah, there's 8 more.
We only have 7. We need to hire one more man.
mean, if you just blow up 7,
Yeah, it's pretty
And-
good. And then we can head over to the 8th one.
and if the 8th one happens to not get blown up due to unseen circumstances, you blew up 7.
Alright, so let's put ourselves. Well, we're all separate, I guess.
We're all separate.
Put one of us near the 8th.
The 8th?
So we're gonna be completely separate. One each.
Yep.
Mono e Stono.
Are there 8 of you to divide among the stones?
Only
No,
7.
and we don't have him.
Only 6.
Only 6.
You could subcontract some bombers for you.
Who do we trust?
The guy who sold who sold you the tractor. Maybe.
We'll have to kill him after we're done.
I mean, you know from your vision that one's pretty damn close to Canich itself.
Mm-hmm.
So you could maybe force your grandson to limp out to that one and do that. Granted, he'd have less time to clear away from the explosion.
Maybe we should at least ask him, like, hey, can you do this?
I might respect you a little.
You do have a stomach wound, so it's not like it's
It's just a stomach.
How
You've
is...
been moping
Yeah,
around
I
for
guess
like 2 days.
moping around.
How do...
Oh god, you got
Fucking
Oh.
Sean, how is,
I
like...
taught you some German.
How
that
is,
should
like...
make you tough like a German. Yeah.
How am I feeling as far as, like, being able to move?
Well,
Got HP.
you've been able to start taking on food and drink,
Okay.
which is a nice improvement.
You'll be eating my fist if you don't get out there.
I mean, you'll probably be wobbly if you attempt to get out of bed, and you could exacerbate the problem if you need to move suddenly. But the doctor was certainly being cautious by telling you to stay in bed that long, but gentle movement you can probably manage.
Alright. Do it.
Alright, you see him emerge from bed.
Good.
Put his stick
Give
in
me-
his hand.
And a match. That's all he needs.
Tell him to find rocks.
I feel like you should give me the
Yeah, we
box.
can give him the matchbox.
because that way I have more of a guaranteed in and out type of situation here.
Okay, so you're gonna give your son the closest stone.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You'll have to really span that lock to get to the other ones. And then did you say tractor guy? You're giving him the chance, or
I guess that'd be the last man we need.
okay?
Why not?
You see him just sitting sullenly.
His fate is in your hands.
You see him sitting sullenly at his table, nursing probably like a hard cider or something of that nature.
He yanked that out of his hand, put a stick of dynamite in it.
There, I upgraded you, son.
Yeah.
Yep.
So if you're
Oh, what happened to your face?
Looks like your appearance
Bar
went
fight.
down by at least 2 values.
Is that like amber? He points at your eye.
Amber shades.
I've
of
never
gray.
seen that
It's
fancy.
It's a rare stone. It's you know, the doctors here. You've heard of a glass eye? Well, this was all they had.
Wow. Looks like they might have killed some blood vessels or something around that region there.
It's kind of
Yeah, I don't think he was great. I don't think he was a great doctor.
it's kind of a rude thing to like just do.
To
I
comment
mean, I
on
guess
someone's
I guess
face.
you
But
met him
his
yesterday.
face looks totally different.
Yeah, you
now,
met him
so
yesterday,
yeah.
so
Okay.
Yeah, it's a rough wound. But
So what's going on?
well, we've actually got a little bit of a job here that we need another man for. I was wondering if you're looking to make some more money.
Yes, that's exactly what I want to do.
Oh, perfect. Well, it's a simple job.
Okay.
Where are we right now? Are we in private?
You're in the guest house, which is very sparse. So I mean, just leaning in you'd be able to be quiet enough to.
Milestone. We're looking to blow up some obelisks that are scattered around the lake.
He says, around Mullerduck?
Yes,
I never knew no obelisks around there.
they're a recent addition, but we're trying to get rid of them.
Like Stonehenge stuff, huh?
Yeah,
Wow.
we're afraid they might have. This might be a superstition, but we just think they're a bad omen. And,
I'd certainly say so, given there was never been no obelisk around here before.
I'm glad we're on the same page.
Yeah. So what's the plan?
Well, we already have some dynamite.
Yeah.
And some rope. We
Okay.
want to tie the dynamite to each one and then blow them off.
It's like an old western tale.
Yeah. We're gonna do it all at the same time too.
Billy the Kid. All right.
That's why we need one man for each stone. Now the pay will be 20 pounds.
He bites his lip. He's clearly thinking about it. He says, "You've got yourself a deal."
Alright.
He says, "You're gonna show me where this thing is."
Yes, we'll meet up. Actually, I should know out of character, in character.
Mm-hmm.
Are we planning on doing it like right away? Like, is there a meetup spot?
I think today was your
Right
planned
now.
day. Yeah.
Right now, is it? So, yeah, let's
Heading out
come
there.
with.
You said
come with
first
me right
light.
now.
Remember when you
Yeah.
said that?
You wanted to do it last night.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're ready right now. I'll give him the money right away.
Okay. He accepts. He asks if he can see the dynamite.
I'll show it to him.
Okay. He holds it. He says, "It's really quite exciting holding something like this."
And he
Oh,
lights it.
Yeah.
Yep. He says, "Don't worry, I've got something to light it," and you see him like gesture to like his pipe in his pocket. So,
Perfect.
all right. He says, "Oh yeah, I'll definitely be able to get a new start somewhere else with this kind of money."
Good.
Modern Warfare is going to have crossplay between PS4, Xbox One, and PC.
Yeah,
That's excellent.
that's why I immediately hopped on and asked if you guys were getting it because I know we can play together.
So it's COD 4. That
No.
It's Call of Duty Modern Warfare.
It's different. It's not Call of Duty.
It's like
It's not a remake.
it's like Rambo.
Oh. Huh.
So it's not modern. It's like
But
It is. It's
that's
modern.
the name of previous game. That's like
that name of previous game.
well, no,
It was-
that's
no,
like
it was
saying
Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare.
Yeah.
Well,
This
this
is Call
is
of Duty Modern Warfare.
so it's Call of Duty 4.
That-
and
Duh.
Call of Duty
Okay,
Modern
then
4.
Rambo is super freaking appropriate,
Yeah.
where it goes from Rambo to John Rambo,
Yeah.
stupid shit like
They're
that.
calling it a reimagining of Modern Warfare.
Okay. Well, I don't know. I still don't know if I'd be like trigger purchase, but I will be observing how it's received when it comes out, and if it looks good, I think I'll hop in. But no, I can't guarantee that I'll get it at this point. I mean, how soon is it from dropping?
October.
Oh, okay.
Same time as every Call of Duty.
Right. See if you can pull me away from the computer screen for that time. So,
That's true.
because I mean that's gonna be like in the thick of things by October.
That's true.
All right.
You could give it a couple months and
We'll have to see if
Yep.
it's third person.
That would be a very big
that
factor.
would be a trigger button
That
for
would-
me.
Yes. I think you could even say as much for me too. So, all right. Can Grandpa show me who's gonna do each stone then? That'll help me imagine things. And I'm assuming you're gonna be personally guiding everyone, or at least the people who need guiding to those stones.
I think you should actually lead everyone around.
Yeah, I know.
Until the last
I know
stone,
Poet's
you go out
there,
and
so you don't need to do that one, but you can do the other.
Okay, well, I don't.
Like I picture we all walk in a circle and just you drop off one person each stone.
Okay. Yeah. So hard body 1, 2, 3. Driver. Wait, did we count the driver?
Yeah. We had 7 people total. And then we needed the 8.
3 bodies. 3 of you.
Oh, okay.
and
Hold
a
on.
driver.
Yeah,
Farmer.
yeah.
8.
Hard body 1, 2, 3. Driver. Tractor dude. Dr. Gaines. Dick Gaines.
Okay.
And then since you're the first away,
Yeah.
you can do the
I'll be
first
the
light.
first
one. Where am I?
And then we'll all light 'em.
You're right by the village.
Okay.
You've got a short stroll.
I'm gonna be waiting there for like 2 hours before I set this.
Oh yeah. At least 2 hours. Because it's about. Yeah, it's about like 12 miles from Canage to like the furthest one.
Luckily, I'm a Gaines.
Yeah, and it's actually, I mean, you deal with exposure and the elements, but it is easier in one sense walking in that you don't have the vehicle breaking down, that sort of thing. You're not going to be stranding something out there per se. Okay.
I dealt with exposure in the Second Opium War.
I'm sure you did. I exposed myself to people. Okay. Right. I will need Alright.
Some exposure.
So Grandpa's gonna have to walk far. Because he's showing people where the stones are, and then he's got to make it to his stone. Are you doing all the guiding, or are you having your son do...
Yeah.
Holy crap.
'Cause
Okay.
I'm taking the farthest stone.
You are...
Why can't we use the tractor?
I mean, you could, but...
You always run the risk.
Of what?
I mean, I guess I'll ride the tractor until it
It's like,
clunks out.
worst case scenario, it dies
Yeah.
out and then you have to walk.
Yeah, I'll do that.
It's like a golf cart.
Alright, furthermore,
Motorized golf cart.
you've accounted for 8 of the bundles of dynamite. That means you have 2 in excess.
Yeah.
Who will be carrying those?
I'll take an extra, and you can take an extra.
The squad leaders?
Player characters.
Alright.
2-player characters.
Okay, now we're going too far.
Yeah. I mean, Studs is ready to flip the table at that point.
The hate's extended to
And
me.
I wouldn't blame him for flipping the table.
He's ready to go find the cultists and work for them.
Hey, you get to blow up a rock, so that's something.
I did write Morgan leaves bed for father and grandfather approval.
I need a con times 3 from Grandpa.
Here we go. What is my con? 5.
Oh my god. And you have to go wandering out.
This is with the tractor at play?
Yeah, I guess.
Wait, so you are going to take the tractor out there?
Yeah.
So the driver's going to drive with you for some time in the
Until you
tractor.
can't anymore.
Yeah, and then
Okay.
and then I'll keep
All right,
going.
then you can do con times 6.
Okay.
It's not
Still
much
not
better.
great.
No.
Nope.
Okay.
Oh God. You needed a calm sound.
About
20. I'm gonna light that fuse wherever I fall over.
about like 7 miles, 8 miles into the journey, you feel just your feet and hands going really numb from the cold, and it's getting to the point where it's getting very difficult to move your extremities. And you're like, you just passed like maybe the second stone
Oh my
out
God.
from
Oh my god. I can't go no
Can you at
further.
least stay conscious, like to tell us where it is? Like, just sit in the back and you're not even driving yet.
I know.
What happened
Cold,
here?
man.
very cold.
I mean, what's gonna
At
happen?
least
You're gonna
people are
pass
there
out?
with you. Could have been a lot worse.
Well, I'm probably gonna like huddle up here.
Where?
Well, we're near the second stone, right?
Yeah, you're like at the second
You
stone
gotta
out.
roll up on the ground instead of staying in the tractor.
Well, you're in like the cold and the open then. It's cold.
Yeah, there's no cabin or anything like
I'll
that.
draw you a map
Alright.
in the snow of
Okay.
where all the stones are.
Give me a dex times 4.
Okay, here we go.
Your poor hand.
Be-
It's just
I
shaking.
got a good dex.
Alright. It's really tremoring.
That's gonna be a failure.
Okay.
Barely. That was
He
a
did
58
draw
out
a
of
map.
52.
He did draw a map. It's a bit of a mess, so there'll be some... You're going to need someone with good intellect to study that map if they're heading beyond this point.
You're a smart man.
I'm an educated
Actually,
man.
Big was smart.
I'm an educated man. I'm not a
Smart man. Oh my god.
Big was the
12
best of us.
A 12's not bad. And
No.
I think I had the same int as Big. Mine's 15.
Yeah. Alright, so you're just going to have to trust that your son can find the stone
Alright, I'm
beyond you.
gonna be the new signal master.
Okay.
If I make it to the end.
Poor grandpa.
I'll just light mine off when I hear some booms.
Okay.
Regardless of what they came
Yeah,
from.
that's what's gonna happen.
So Thomas, you're going to go to the farthest stone out.
Yep. So I'm gonna try to continue the plan, drop off man at each one.
What's your
come to
con?
the end. 10.
Yep. You're going
Better.
to... with Grandpa staying here, he can make a primitive shelter for himself. It'll be better if you help make a shelter for him before going.
Curl up in the fetal position on the ground.
Light the dynamite to keep yourself warm.
I'll like pack some snow on his back.
Bury him under
It's like an igloo.
Yeah,
it's
it
like
retains
tight
it retains
igloo.
temperature. Yeah.
it's freezing temperature. I mean,
See
what kind of
that
shelter
that
do you want?
fast transportation to London is going to be more important just to keep him alive at that point because he's going to be like half frozen. All right.
I like it froze.
Yeah.
Maybe I can-
Takis are going to take us all the way back to London.
Okay.
By way of the moon.
Yeah, you'll get nice and high up in the atmosphere. All right. Next. Okay, so Thomas, you're gonna head the rest of the way.
Yeah.
I need an int times 4 to follow Grandpa's crude map.
We got that, no problem. That's like 48.
13.
Okay. You're able to direct the body to his stone, and then you're able to continue on your way. But by now, the cold is really getting to you. You've been outside for probably 8-9 hours since you left the inn.
Holy shit.
Yep. So I'm
This plan of ours.
gonna need a con times 3.
Could have just been on like a roof
You
sniping
got
Lawrence Bacon.
con. That's a
I
30.
don't have that much con.
That's a
It's
30.
not much.
I'm the one with all the con.
I'm passed out.
He's 66.
Better like
Well, it
that
wasn't a
dynamite
fumble, was it?
If you're going
No.
down
Well, I
Okay.
don't know what a fumble is.
9,900.
Uh huh.
No.
Okay. You're able to keep your feet shuffling forward, but you've gone lightheaded. You're having blizzard dreams, like seeing shapes and mists.
Sack monsters.
Yep, maybe little traces of that. You're unsure if you're gonna make it to the stone at this point, but you can push yourself.
What has everyone been dropped off? Just except for me.
As far as you know, I mean, this is along one way that you've taken. I mean,
But I thought,
I'm
like,
assuming
everyone-
Grandpa didn't mean to go like all the way around like that. But as you see, they kind of go off into. So you dropped off Grandpa at one, a hobo at others, but there's no way you're gonna make it to the other ones. So you're just gonna have to hope they found the way for that path.
Alright.
Just make it to a stone and
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna try to press on, find a stone.
do the whistle.
Okay, roll a d6.
I believe in you. Roll a number. I don't know which one's good.
3.
Okay,
It's medium.
you take 3 damage, but put fast in parentheses next to that. So you put meaning that HP can be recovered much more rapidly with rest and warmth, as opposed to wounds. All right, now you need to roll con again. Same times 3. Yep.
46. Out of 30.
Okay, you reach the last stone, but you've gone very cold. So roll 2d6.
Oh, this could be it.
Yeah,
With-
Probably isn't.
Dr. James.
No, you need a higher.
Could be.
Could be.
it.
Could be it.
6 on the first one. That's it. I'm at 0.
Okay, you
Oh my
feel
God.
yourself losing consciousness.
You could blow the whistle.
It's probably your best bet.
Not done yet.
Blow the whistle, bitch.
Do I even have that option?
Do you want to try and reach for it?
Yeah.
Okay. You see your associate, the man in the black suit. He says, "You look a little under the weather." And as he says that, you feel kind of like you're in a suspension where it's like you don't feel better, but your consciousness is being forced awake right now.
So, yes, I need your help once again.
He says, "This will warm the spirits," and he hands you a strange flask.
Oh God.
Thank you.
Oh God.
Okay. You feel just burning heat coursing through your body.
Roll sanity.
So it'll definitely restore the fast HP loss you've taken. Go back to full.
Oh. There we go.
Yep.
Am I made of granite?
No. Roll a d12.
D12.
Yep.
Damage you're taking.
Got that bad boy right there.
5.
Okay. You realize somehow, I mean, it should be impossible for you to know this, but you can tell that that beverage was from the blood of humans and probably from like newborns or something horrible like that.
Big breakfast
Right.
shake.
You're giving Big's breakfast shake, and you can tell that it's always going to be with you, and that it's never going to like leave your bloodstream or anything like that. And so there's just kind of an unnatural taint that you feel is now dwelling within your body. He says, "Yeah, always good for cold days." And he says, "You made it to your destination."
Yeah, I have. It's almost time for the travel to London, but
Yeah.
I just have one last thing to do here.
He says, "I'm just gonna go find a place to watch," and you see him just head for a nearby like little knoll or something.
Okay. Alright. And with renewed vigor, I will tie the dynamite to the stone.
Yep.
And
It's tricky work in the cold, but you're able to do so since you've been invigorated.
It's got baby blood.
Yep.
I feel great. Physically.
Heard it here first. Drink baby blood.
Now
Get
you
warm.
Yep.
Get warm.
Yep.
All the stem cells.
Flooding in your body.
Yep.
Oh, he also mentions to you that he likes to fill his flask with those who've been sacrificed in his name, but he hasn't told you his name yet. Just as an aside, so just more contributions to the sanity loss.
Wait, so that was a 5 sanity loss?
Yes. How's it doing?
I'm at 36.
Okay,
Yeah, he had a good sanity.
you're ready to make more deals. Still. Yeah. Okay.
He's still higher than I started with.
Yeah. Okay.
Alright. So I tie it up, it's tied, and I'm gonna light it on a river rock.
All right, everyone who is planting explosives, it's time for.
Con times 3.
Been waiting.
You can roll. You can roll your mechanical repair.
Is that a 20?
It's pretty good.
Um.
And 1 in 5 chance of succeeding.
Does anyone want to argue that one of their skills could apply for this?
Nope.
Okay.
'Cause
I didn't want to know if anyone had penciled in one.
It'd be quite a ridiculous skill to argue if there was anything else.
Okay, then yeah, I'll get a mechanical repair roll from everybody.
Yeah, how hard could it be?
Yep.
Oh, it's easy.
Just lighten a cord.
Yeah. And you need to use that river rock, though.
Yeah.
Alright.
But I have the
Forty.
matchbox.
Failed,
Is
whatever.
mine better?
Yep.
Whatever is involved.
Mm-hmm.
Is mine better than?
You have a matchbox?
Yeah, they gave me the matchbox.
Sure, you can add 5.
Nailed it. Look at that. Solid 90.
Okay.
Nice.
Thomas?
But you can
I
add
was
5.
included?
You're
Aren't
lighting,
you
the-
lighting dynamite?
He
I
is.
had the blood.
Yeah, I know.
It makes you. That doesn't become
It
God
just
bound.
it revived you.
Why is it so hard to light dynamite?
It's cold. Holy shit!
99.
That's a fumble.
Oh my god! I
Okay,
think that blood will save you.
you
I'm gonna blow myself up.
you strike the match.
You light the bottom.
This
of
was
the
the
fuse.
this was the signal one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
And somehow you thought you were lighting it at the top, but you were lighting it like at the base, and so that one explodes in your hands.
No way you'd survive.
I need you to roll 5d6.
I could live.
You could.
I mean, in a game, yes.
Yep.
Realistically, no.
Yeah, he's got a bundle of dynamite there.
Your organs would liquefy.
2?
2.
It's a good number
Okay.
to start with.
5, you said?
Yep.
That's not good.
No, that's high roll.
4, 3. Oh, just keep going. There it is. It's gotta be over. Hold on.
And keep going.
It's over.
Okay.
It's a lot. It's too much.
All right. So you guys are off in the distance. You're kind of in the process of lighting yours. You see an explosion, like on the far side, and it sounds strange. It sounds like two explosions, just one right after the other.
That's odd.
Was I made of gasoline?
No, you had
No,
the
you
other.
had, you had two sticks of dynamite.
Right. You're right.
How's mine going?
It's frustrating for you to light. The wind, the cold, the moisture. With a luck, you might be able to get it with your last one. So let's see if you're lucky.
46 out of 55.
Okay, you've lit it. You've got it set at the base. Now you're giving it clearance. Studs, you burn through about half your matches, but then get it. So you'll want to stand clear as well.
Why did his blow up? What did he roll?
He fumbled.
99.
Oh, he fumbled.
There's-
okay.
there's-
Holy shit. I was
there's-
like, I rolled a 90. I'm also dead.
There are specific provisions if you fumble a dynamite roll, especially when you have no
It's in the
training.
book.
It's in the
It's
book.
in the book.
I knew
Yes.
this would happen.
Yep.
Crazy.
Yep. You probably shreked that stone though, with both going on.
Nice.
You never know. Yeah.
Hopefully.
Okay.
Luckily, I had the matchbooks, I guess.
But the whistle
Wow.
got blown too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, and then I've got the 5 others. 3 hobos, the driver, and the farmer. Thank you.
Nope.
Well, let's see.
Nope.
You don't know if they have training or not.
Well, the driver has to.
Hey,
right?
Yeah.
there you go.
That was pretty good.
Nice.
All right, that was.
That's
Is that a fumble?
No, it's one
Whoa.
shy of a fumble.
We almost
Uh,
lost another hard
yeah.
body.
We would have lost one.
Okay.
Now I'm your only living relative.
Alright.
You must
I'm
love
sure
me.
I've got some
Let's-
cousins somewhere.
Mang.
Alright. Dr. Gaines is dead.
You don't know that.
Okay. A series of explosions surround the lake. Not as many as you guys would expect as you kind of look around. And on your shoulder, Studs, you feel a hand. He says, I don't mean to alarm you.
I look at him.
Okay, it's the gentleman from the bar. He says, I have this. Your father won't be able to be using it.
What is it?
He says, this was your ticket out of here.
You just walk back to the hotel.
If you wish.
And you just like, what's a whistle going to do?
He says, well, when you're ready to leave, it'll take you back to London. You and your grandpa.
Why do we need a whistle to do that?
It's expedient.
Why aren't you asking what happened to your dad?
Well, I kind of figured at this point.
Yep.
I guess.
Well,
He says, I mean, you have an appointment on the 27th, do you not?
I don't know if I had an appointment.
Oh. Well.
My father had an appointment.
Well, the offer was made. Do you accept, or shall it rest with him?
And he can keep it. At this point, like, I gotta go to my granddad and get my father's splattered remains.
We got a long tractor ride home.
I don't think your granddad's gonna make it. He says that. I don't think your granddad's gonna make it unless you take this.
What does the whistle do exactly that's going to fix all this?
He kind of rubs his face and says, well, good luck. And you don't see him anymore.
Alright.
Okay, Grandpa. You did not obliterate the stone, but you did create a large fissure running down the side of it.
It's pretty good.
So there's basically like 2 distinct stones now that are there. So
That's good. I think we can live with that.
yeah, Studs, your result was very similar.
You figured?
Yep.
I think we did good work here.
We were done with the pattern any dynamite. We could have just left probably.
Yeah.
But now I'm dead.
Yes.
But now I'm dead.
And so your son, he went further out. He's not coming back. You will need someone's help, likely to make it back to Canich, unless you want to make a desperate run through the snow.
We never talked about
My age.
the after stretch.
It was very contingent on your fast exit, I think.
Someone will be coming this way. One of the hard bodies will carry me.
Okay.
Maybe.
I think I would personally go to town and try to get someone to drive me out there with what that weird guy said. He seemed to know a lot about my family, but the whistle, like, I don't know anything about him. I wasn't there for any of the
Your
conversation.
dad did not give you the briefing on that,
I
so.
don't see why I would randomly take a whistle and assume that it's
I
just going
applaud.
to save
I mean,
everything.
you definitely didn't metagame whatsoever there, so that was very upright of you.
So I think I would go to town and hopefully pay someone to drive me out there in these conditions.
Well, first problem is no one in Canich has an automobile.
Besides the tractor that's out
That
there.
is out. It's out there somewhere. Yeah. Oh no, the tractor. Oh yeah, it was taken all the way out there. Yep. The kindly people who run the guest house say, "We'll look in the morning, but we're not going out there tonight. We can't, son. We're sorry. We'd likely end up as they would, but hopefully they found some shelter. I mean, surely they had a plan." Now, if you want to go door to door, find everyone in the village who might be willing to help, you could do that, but they seem the most inclined to have been able to help you, and they refuse.
Has the snow been... Has it been constantly snowing since
Nope.
you've been here?
It comes and goes in pockets. Today it actually hasn't snowed that much. It gets brutally cold at night.
That was
It's been a historic winter.
It's been a long freaking day so far.
Yeah.
If I go out there looking, that's certainly my death as well.
Yep, because the more you move around, the higher the risk gets.
Great.
You're asking a man that was shot with a bullet that's clearly this
That was
big
days ago.
2 days ago.
to walk 8 miles at night in the winter. Alright, I'll wait till the morning.
Okay,
Will be a rest
All right.
this night, but I'll wait.
Grandpa, give me a luck.
I'm the luckiest man alive.
Yep.
Except today.
Okay. No one comes for you in the night. Your fate is up in the air.
I mean, like 30 minutes later, I would have probably fired off a round from the elephant gun.
Okay, you can pop off.
And then pop myself off.
Yeah, I mean,
No one's coming.
it rings out throughout the night.
Great.
All right, Studs. It's a new day.
Alright.
Right now, so all eyes are on you right now. We'll put it that way.
So I'll go up to the people that are running the place.
Yep.
And be like, is there any luck that we can get out there and see if they might have survived the night?
We've shared with the townsfolk your plight, and while we're going to continue running the guest house, there's a group of gentlemen who are willing to head out there with you.
Okay. So I'll meet up with them.
Okay. You see 3 men standing with arms folded. One of them is vaguely familiar to you. You can roll
Bargain.
You can roll half of your idea.
We ain't got no ideas.
Half of it would be 38.
Okay.
75.
All right.
Is that right?
Yep.
I got it. 17.
In the book, that means we're on the right track.
All right.
Too likely.
You recognize his face.
Alright.
It is Michael Evans, orderly nurse from the asylum.
Holy shit.
He's not dressed in orderly clothes right now.
What a throwback.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna ignore that fact. for
Okay.
now. I don't think that starting anything with him might be.
Not the best
Bit
of
of a coincidence.
Yeah, but at this point,
You see that he has an automobile.
Ooh, a motorized car.
Yep.
motorized car.
We heard there's been trouble, and I arrived from Inverness yesterday.
Yeah, my grandpa and father are stranded by the lake.
Out by the lake. Well, let's see if we can go find them.
That'd be most kind.
All right. He's going to be driving, so he offers you to step in the passenger seat.
Of course.
The men with him get in the back. They drive out cautiously, and once you're a few miles from town, you come up near one of the stones. This one appears to have been dynamited in some capacity. He says, "Look at that." He says, "Was this what they were up to?"
Yeah, I believe they were.
He says, "Oh, I must have a closer look very briefly," and he steps out of the car.
What stone are we roughly at?
Um,
We're not at the one
he
that
took
I did,
he
right?
took the southern track, and this would be the first stone out of Canich. So
It's the one that I blew up?
nope, you were at the one right by. So there's like
Oh,
there's like the one you were at, and then they both just split out in like a V shape from that way.
Gotcha.
So he's this way. So this is about 4 miles from Canich.
okay.
He gestures for you to come take a look as well.
I'll walk towards them.
Okay. He says,
Get dusted.
he says, well, it's been interesting seeing your progress since the asylum, and now I finally have the opportunity to rid myself of you.
You still got your elephant gun.
Always have the elephant gun.
He sees that you have it,
Give them both.
and he
rounds.
smiles, and we'll begin combat.
Alright.
You're both standing near the car. He's about 15 feet away from you, so 3 squares if we're talking D&D terms. You weren't pointing the gun at him at the start of this, so it'll take you probably a round to get it ready.
I would say I definitely had my hand near it
Okay.
since I recognized him.
Okay.
And he wanted to stop an obelisk
You did.
despite the fact we were trying to find my ground.
Don't worry, I'll come out of the trees with my gun and just blow you away before he can.
Okay. You ready the gun. As for him, he's going to spend some of his magic points.
It's never what you want to hear.
No.
Did I recover 1 more HP through that night?
Yeah.
Sweet. Just in case that matters. See you guys in Valhalla.
Where the dead may live forever.
Yep.
I predicted our death with my gift.
There's a D3. Thomas has got one over there.
He's got the only one.
You think magic is stronger than an elephant gun? You know how many men I turned to dust with this thing?
Yeah, but you don't have the rolls playing against you heavily
That's true.
as the studs does.
That's true.
as you ready the elephant gun, he moves a little bit closer to you, but most of the time you see him kind of seizing up, and his like arms and hands like start spiraling, and like rotating more than they normally be able to. Like obviously, and they appear to have turned into like venomous ropes of snakes that are coming towards you. It's definitely a signature favorite of cultists. So, what is your reaction to this?
I'm going to roll out of the way. So
So you're going to prioritize dodging over firing your gun.
Yes.
Okay. You can roll your dodge.
Nice and garbage dodge. Got it. Roll a 10.
Okay. You hear like the little snapping fangs of the snakes like fly past you, and you watch yourself a moment where they cannot get you. You do have to roll sanity for witnessing Hands of Kalubra.
I will
All right.
lose sanity.
You got any left?
I actually rolled under.
Okay. Right now, you're so focused on just surviving that it doesn't shake you.
Okay.
All right. It's going to be hard to have a golden opportunity to ever use your elephant gun, but right now, just dodging that, this is probably your best bet.
All right.
You still might leave yourself a little bit more open, but I mean, you're going to have to get a chance to shoot him at some point,
All right.
so good luck.
This is a rifle, right? Or shotgun.
Oops.
This is a rifle.
There's a rifle.
All right. That I also succeeded on.
Okay,
With
you
a
can roll
16.
damage.
What is the damage on that bad boy?
Mang knows.
3d6 plus 4. The most powerful rifle
Oof.
in the world.
Wow. 5 total.
Plus
Plus 4, 9.
So that's
Still better than most guys.
yeah.
Okay. You see, they like dug into like his upper chest and shoulder area, but he's not dead.
Of course not. Studs rolls on the damage. I rolled a fucking 16.
And he grits his teeth and directs the snakes towards you. Okay. So let's see if they're gonna get.
Would I carry an elephant gun and my shotgun that I had before? Probably not.
That would be difficult. You would have had to have made a
I
specific
don't see
mention
why I
of
would
that.
have.
Yeah.
I never really carried my shotgun around before. I just had it as a weapon.
Is it hard to reload or something?
I have no idea.
I've been down 20 shots.
And yet you fired 0.
Man.
Hey, but you paid for those. They were $1,600 a piece or something like that.
More than that.
24 a piece.
Actually, I don't know.
I
Yeah,
bought-
1,200 actually. It was only 1,200 a piece. All the money I had in my pockets.
blown to smithereens.
I know, it's 6,500.
Pounds. You're dead too.
What's your constitution?
Oh, you still need snow?
16.
Yeah,
No one came for you,
overnight. 72-year-old man.
My highest
So it's
stat.
not-
5
It's not,
constitution.
it's not clear what happened to you yet.
Nope.
No.
You have to make
But
12
at least he
successive-
shot. At least he shot off at
Possible.
12 successive.
What's your
contacts.
con subs?
16.
16.
I never even wrote down my HP. So, like, I never took damage.
All right. You got bit by one of the snakes, but you resisted its venom.
Okay.
You took 2 damage from the snake bite.
Who'd you fight?
He's fighting.
St.
What,
Patrick.
what are the other two guys doing?
Watch him.
They're watching.
They
Okay.
like to watch.
Is it a duel?
This is a duel.
He
Snake man and a
as he
poet
does
with an
that,
elephant
he
gun.
says, "I require assistance." And you see one of the men just draw a pistol and aim it at you.
Oh.
All right, it is your round.
TPK.
Street rules.
I think to reload the elephant gun, that's like, I think that's at least a round.
A move action?
I don't know.
I don't know.
What would be?
Yeah, I mean probably.
Yeah.
What would be taking?
Because it's
the
got 2 shots.
elephant
It's
gun?
just these massive cartridges that you.
It's got 2 shots, and
So
then you
there's
have to
one
reload.
shot
Yeah.
after it before he has to reload.
Did you fire once or twice?
What did I roll for? I thought
I
I
think you
rolled
just
for
shot.
both.
Okay, no. So I think you are ready to
One
fire
more.
again.
Okay, I'll fire again then.
All right. Good luck.
I got lucky the last
Yeah.
time.
And then just keep rolling and.
31 out of 25.
Okay.
Oh, no.
It goes wide.
Should put that in your dome.
Got the one guy who's shooting at you. You can roll a dodge. Okay.
25 out of 24.
All right.
Oh, man. Why do you have an odd number?
The bullet strikes you and does 5
Because
damage.
it's based on your dex.
You mean an even number?
It is an even number. Why don't I have an odd
Why
number?
would you have an odd
The
number?
bullet strikes you for 5 damage.
I mean, it's not
Still
even
up.
Okay.
divisions of 25.
Okay.
And then more snakes coming in.
This is where I die.
Uh-oh. You bite him some?
No.
You roll
Two.
low.
Yep, 2 and 3 for the damages there.
I'm dead.
Okay.
Alright, Grandpa.
The Gaines
Well.
family is no more.
He doesn't get to make 12 successive con checks?
No.
Damn it.
No. Well, you guys made it almost to the end of book 1.
What?
There's three books in the camp.
Like 3 physical books, or they're all in there?
No, they're all in here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Now that guy with the dynamite was not in that book.
No, that was like an aspect of
I
Nyarlathotep.
think if he hadn't been there,
Actually,
we would have all lived.
Because we would have never even had
We would have
dynamite.
never gone out with the dynamite. And
Jesus.
Yeah.
On the other hand, if he would have taken the whistle, we might have also lived. Well, I wouldn't have lived anyway.
Right.
Yeah, but like, I wasn't part of the original conversation. Like,
I mean-
what am I
I would've
supposed to
lived.
expect? A guy randomly coming
The
up to me?
You guys were totally on rails the whole time up until you chased the stones, which
like half the campaign.
What?
No, that's
what
last-
you say.
that started last
episode.
session
Okay.
through now. Is
Yeah,
when that
so
happened.
that
At
wasn't
the end of 2 sessions ago, we decided we should chase it. Well,
I mean, that was
some
5
of you did.
sessions,
I
so
started
it's
last
2
week
out of 5.
as
The
start
first-
stupid plan.
The first place you guys, when you found the stones with Farmer Jennings, that was on track still.
Yeah.
It was chasing his vision that where I had
Are
to.
you telling
had to
me that
improvise.
that was not important at all?
No, it was important.
So there
Where
you go.
was it? Was that in book 2 or 3, maybe?
No, that was still in book
Did
1.
we
The
disrupt
stones?
something?
Was there any
Did we
purpose?
serve a purpose?
Okay, so we're done with Tatters then. I think, if you want me to answer
I mean,
that question,
it'd be
otherwise
kind of-
we'd have to get.
It'd be
good
kind of
characters.
weird to like.
Yeah, no, I mean it would have to be.
We'd have to start like.
There's a
the,
number.
The
yeah.
results of where we like. We'd have to be a new group that.
We could start
Right.
in book 2. We could be.
But that'd be a
Hospital
weird.
work.
You
thing to
could,
start.
but
You could.
I'm okay.
Seems
Stopping.
weird.
It's not.
It
Alright.
seems weird to.
I just want to know if we did something.
Okay,
Yeah,
no, then I
don't
can
know
I can
if
tell
it's
you.
Stones.
All right. The moment the Hereford Haulage Company brought those up, and when they were placed in a V, certain things would be impossible to prevent. So, tampering with the stones does not prevent Carcosa from coming to lock Mullerduck there.
So it
What
didn't
it
do
does,
anything.
no, I didn't say that.
Oh, okay.
What it does do is it limits the range of Haster when he's summoned. So he wouldn't have been able to go and slaughter like half of Scotland because of that. So you did do
That's
something.
pretty good.
There you
Yeah,
go.
that's pretty
a
good.
side mission.
Yeah.
that was good.
Because Montague Edwards, his whole plan was to summon what he thought would be the King in Yellow, but he didn't understand everything. So it was going to be a disaster, but he needed Alexander Roby in order for it to happen.
Actually, there's one more bit of information.
Yeah.
What happened on the PI's mission?
Yeah, did he kill
Bacon.
Bacon?
What he would have said to you was that they rushed Bacon and that he fell into the canal and presumed he was dead. So he would have been successful in that regard, and that Bacon wouldn't have troubled you. However, most of the point of Bacon is getting into Bacon's house after you defeat him. Because
Damn it.
there's a provision. If you guys are struggling against Bacon, I'm encouraged to have him fall into the canal anyway instead of wiping you guys out.
Okay.
Oh!
So he's almost like a loot pinata to help really like get things in motion. But
Oh, that was when it really turned.
But we
it
figured
was-
out a way where
What was
him
his
falling into
house?
the canal made a little bit of sense.
oh yeah, no,
Like, you
Vincent
could
Tuck.
flip-
Vincent
you could-
Tuck said I did my best,
We
and
would have never made it to his house.
I mean,
well, you would have with his fast.
I mean, I
transport
did
back,
start
yeah.
last campaign's notes with start stupid plan.
I never.
So I was
thought-
against it from the
I
beginning.
never thought we were off track.
No,
I
well,
did.
and you are meant to come here, but not that soon because
See,
you don't have
skipped ahead.
all the information.
We're speed running.
They gave me a spell that let me see into the future
Yep.
in a mystery campaign.
Which means you will make it there regardless of your actions. Well, no, you can influence the future, but if you just follow events, you will make it there one way or the other. But you don't know that when you cast the spell. So
We also, it didn't seem like that was the right path
It
to
did-
take at that time.
It felt like a
well, then you
reach.
guys should have argued for it more.
I did
'cause it's a-
argue for it, but I didn't know what else to do. So
clearly
like,
the
that was really it.
stones-
That was really it. I mean, I knew it seemed like a little bit like this,
It just-
this
I-
can't be what they expect of us. But on the other hand, I didn't know what else to do.
didn't know what else to say to it. It was
I
just
didn't,
like,
want, I didn't want to just time skip for
I
till the
mean,
trial.
once we got the letter, we definitely should have followed the letter.
Which letter?
but I mean, we sent Tuck.
So,
It was all
That's
in
the
we
the
had
So-
already hired the homeless guys.
Once this dynamite plan was done, we were supposed to just
Well,
fly back to
I was
London.
but I was
and we
hoping.
would have looted his
Well,
house.
if Thomas wouldn't have fumbled, that was. But I had
Something
to.
different.
I had to acknowledge that. Like it's supposed to be a very dangerous and deadly game
And it, was
where I
it
can't
wasn't a
ignore a fumble.
guaranteed death either. It was
No,
just, yeah.
But that that caused him to die, meaning the man in black had to go to someone else, and then Studs refused the whistle, so he just said, "All right, I'm leaving," and then Grandpa died of exposure, and then
I would have scooped you up if I had fumbled.
Montag-
Anything other than 90.
Montag Edwards, who is waiting patiently in the asylum for the release hearing of Roby, couldn't ignore the news that people had gone up there and were fucking around with the stones, so he had to make a personal visit. He can he regenerates 4 HP each round, but if you incapacitate him at
Yeah,
once,
gone.
he's dead. So that would have actually been a big blow too, because that would have stopped.
How much HP?
He had 10 HP.
The elephant gun, no problem.
But no, Suds had the elephant gun. It
That's
just
crazy. You could have blown him away.
I literally needed to not roll a 1 or a 2 in any of these situations. I rolled the third lowest possible number I could roll.
Oh no.
So,
A 3,
It's crazy.
a 4, yeah, I rolled the
So
third
disappointing.
lowest number. Out of freaking
But
The elephant guns should have been so good.
no, they were good.
Out of
You're killing Miyaki.
out
with
of
them.
3
Like,
out of
I
24
probably shouldn't have allowed them, but I found it really entertaining to see him just.
It's in the book, man.
It is, yeah.
What would the whistle have done?
So, the whistle is bad news to just. Oh, the one from the Man in Black.
Yeah.
It would have brought you back to London, more sanity loss, but
Oh,
it would have brought you there in like 2 hours.
I was sort of wary of it because I thought it would just be like big.
Yeah, me too.
It was a different. I deliberately had it be a whistle so that
Yeah.
you'd be mistrustful of it, but it wouldn't have killed you or anything like that.
I mean, I figured it wasn't going to harm us, but I thought in the sense that I thought that when they grabbed us, they would take us to London.
Yeah.
That's what was kind of my thought process behind it. But it just didn't make sense for some random guy to come up. The only reason I was just go away, old man, is because he knew about my family. Otherwise, but you still brought a whistle, which is
You did? Nope. I gave you every reason to be suspicious of him, and you were suspicious, but that means the whistle was out of your reach then at that point. So
I mean, the odds of finishing a Call of Cthulhu campaign are very
right,
slim.
they're slim, and
And we saved a lot of people's lives. So.
you did, because yeah, I mean, well, I won't give away too much. It's
So the trial.
if
was,
anyone ever wants to just read through this book, it's pretty fun actually.
the trial was just
was at the end of book 1.
So you had done enough to convince the hearing against the release of Roby, which is a small victory. The one conversation you had with Graham Roby where you're like, Heinzsmith is thinking about releasing him and stuff the moment he found out about that, which was a big surprise to him, he pulled the strings to make sure Roby wouldn't be released. That doesn't stop him from being released, but it forces Montag Edwards to be very sloppy in getting him released, and that would have led a trail straight up north. And so that's when you're intended to do it, because you'll have more information about what their plan is by then. mainly from looting Lawrence Bacon's house because he's got a lot of stuff in there.
What were we supposed to do up there besides blow dynamite?
Well, once you get up there at the intended time, the ritual to bring Carcosa and summon Haster has already begun, and you will just enter Carcosa just by approaching the lake.
Oh God!
So that's a whole big thing.
Isn't that the end
That's the end of book 1.
of everything?
Because basically,
Book 1.
there's 3 parties that are all trying to either summon Haster, bring the King in Yellow, or bring Carcosa to the Earth, and they're all attempting to do it in different ways. And this is the first major group that you have to deal
Is
with.
there any way to escape Carcosa, or is that
Oh,
just
yeah.
the end of our character?
No, you can escape.
Okay.
But that is we can someday, perhaps with other circumstances, see what would happen. But that is the end of your efforts for this.
It was fun.
Yeah,
So we really did skip ahead.
you did.
A little bit.
You did.
If we
And
would have just lived and blown away that necromancer.
you would have been in good.
Yeah.
You would have been in good. Like if you would have went back to London after
So
sabotaging
basically, your
this-
fumble killed us all.
The fumble was big, so now you get a little bit more.
So it's not my fault.
Thomas rolls now. No longer studs rolls.
Yeah.
I ain't killed. I
But
haven't
it would-
killed a single
Yeah,
campaign with.
but you could have. You almost killed Montague Edwards, which would have been funny.
Yeah, I have no skill in rifles. I have a very low dodge. I think I did really well in that fight.
If it wasn't for my 5 con, maybe I could have come
And
out of the woods.
you get to see Alexander Roby in Carcosa, and he's perfectly like lucid and intelligent there. So it would have been totally different than your like when you guys questioned him. I could only read from like a few little things. I can't actually play as Roby and risk giving away too much. So
Even when I was doing this.
I had to do a lot of. Yeah. If you guys spent like a lot looking for Malcolm Corey, you could have ran into J.R.R. Tolkien like at a college who's like corresponded with him briefly. They had this little thing on it.
Seriously?
Yep.
That's
He's in this book. He tells you what he can.
And we were
Yeah.
we told the PI to spare no expense. We would have eventually gotten to J.R.R. Tolkien.
Nice.
Yeah,
We would have hired him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have him. You could have him
Right
as
for us.
as
That's
PC.
metagaming.
You could have him as a PC.
Yeah.
Make him leave Edith and his young children and go search.
Lord of the
for,
Rings was never made.
He'd write a totally different
You
book if he
would
joined the
chronicle our
investigation.
adventures.
Yeah.
Oh God, the Gaines.
Yeah.
Was that a 69?
What? This is
This is a
a
60.
9 and a 9. What are you talking about?
Alright, never mind. Let's just double check.
Yeah,
It
that's a
wasn't
10.
06.
We'd be very angry with you.
Damn it.
And one other thing, the guy who beat within an inch of his life is like a big headache for you in Carcosa.
Oh,
But he would not have. He would have been
should've
like.
killed him.
He would have been just like limping around. He wouldn't have been as dangerous because there's serious repercussions for getting that low in HP for an NPC. So. Yeah. Well, you basically took care of him. He was just basically functioning as a spy, and he wasn't going to try and attack you again. So. Yeah. All right.
Crazy.
Well, we can figure out what'll be our next RPG endeavor after this. We could do like a 1 week board game intermission, and then like Mert would come, Phil would come, Ben would come, like everyone comes for that. But yeah, then
The
this
ice
is our
man.
the ice man. He gets thawed out for that. But I reading this was almost as fun as running it because there's just so much little details and shit, and like
It's
You get-
surprising all
getting-
the stuff you're found
getting-
references to in the book.
getting the big picture from the start. Just it's a totally different perspective than when you're an investigator and you're just like, fuck, I don't know if I'm making it anywhere or not. Because I felt that a lot in Mass and Nyarlathotep, and
Yeah.
Mang had Golk as a Nyarlathotep aspect helping us along. I think that got Reginald much further than he would have otherwise. So
Didn't help you.
no,
What do you mean?
No.
he gave you the blood
You got-
potion. He gave you the dark
I mean,
pack.
he
So
Gave you
I-
the
Yes.
blood potion so you could move 10 feet.
And blow
It was
yourself
so-
up. That is exactly what he would do. He makes you feel terrible about yourself, and then you
Before you
die.
die.
Yep, that's right.
So what's the next?
We don't know yet. We'll have to figure that out. Gyro's working on her one shot again, so
I mean, aren't we here to discuss that?
yes.
Is Phil returning? I guess we don't know that.
He doesn't get a vote if that's what you're talking about.
No, I was just wondering if he's returning. It's kind of funny how
That might
like
depend on what we
I was
pick.
out for like years. It felt like I don't know how long you guys have been back to RPG. And then I come back, Merc comes back, and then suddenly Phil's gone. Phil hates me. Figured it out.
That could be.
D&D 5th edition.
Nope. I like it, but I won't impose that on people.
Do you like it more than Shadow the Demon Lord?
At times, I feel like a little less hemmed in with like the theme, but yeah, Demon Lord does have a very nice.
Could just not do that theme.
That's true.
Aren't all the characters like Skin Collector and like Death Lord and stuff?
Well, I mean, that's like
Demon Lord?
Yeah, aren't they all like all kind of like macabre?
You played a gunslinger.
It's way
yeah.
different.
At the end of the longest Demon Lord campaign, your guy's tactic was to buy as much firearms as possible, I think, and dogs.
And
But-
you grew big. You were like Ant-Man with guns.
and that was pretty cool. And I was flying, I think.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Phil like chose to like strap a bomb himself. I think he just went into. He blew himself up in one of the skin towers.
Oh, we sent him in, yeah.
He was like, instead of just putting the bomb in, he went in.
No,
With
instead
the
of
bomb.
putting it on a timer so he could get out, he just set it off immediately. And
I
then
thought-
somehow lived.
I thought he went in while holding it
Yeah.
instead of just putting the bomb in.
Right.
I think Phil probably enjoys the Sprawl campaigns the most, but
Sprawl is my vote if we are
I've
voting.
never done it.
it's pretty sweet. You can have a very diverse range of experiences in Sprawl.
What was our last
Sprawl is like streamlined Shadowrun.
Mayor?
I'm very.
Do we do anything after that?
So Shadowrun is
I have no idea who I
cyberpunk.
played in
Okay.
that.
So it's about guns,
No.
hacking,
I don't.
Phil was
That
the
was
Uber
getting
driver.
That was
like
where we
sweet,
started in Miami.
like
Was
loadouts
Phil
and
an
stuff.
Uber driver?
There's magic, but we tend to distance ourselves from it because it's confusing and
maybe.
kind of
That's funny.
Was that
complicated.
the word pass
Like,
out?
We
Or he
prefer
was
to have like
unconscious in the
just
back?
really sweet
I
like
think so.
technology,
In
like
the
maybe
back of what?
nanotechnology and stuff. For like that's what you perceive as magic.
Yeah.
And
You would be an
corporations
Uber
control the
driver.
world, and
And you
so
would be in the
Oh,
back seat.
typically,
yeah, you're saying in general.
typically, if you're
That was
playing
an MO.
characters,
And then you would pick up people.
you're
and they would
doing
sit in the
like
front
jobs to like get like your next paycheck.
jacked in the
Slowly
back.
work towards
Yeah.
upgrading
That's
like
one where we tried to kidnap
what
a
equipment
gator.
you're using, make
Yeah.
a better life
I have
for
no idea
yourself.
who I was.
Yeah, I don't know.
You might have like an
Did you do
agenda to
anything
get like
memorable?
payback against a corp or try to like sabotage a
I
corp.
mean, there was the
Occasionally,
whole
you
bus.
could enter into a partnership
that
with
one?
one of the
That was-
corporations
I think
because.
so, yeah.
The mayor? Oh yeah. 'cause
I mean,
they're
in
like,
Shadowrun,
that
there's
was the
like
voter.
dragons and
Those were
shit,
the
which are like
Democratic
shapeshifters
voters.
and are usually like
Why do you have to be
CEOs of like
ended?
big corporations and
They
stuff.
didn't
So
have to be ended.
there's a lot of
You
room
weren't
for
supposed
just
to
wild
kill them.
stuff.
Yeah.
You were supposed to
Why?
dump them off in the woods
Remember?
Why did I kill him?
because they started tweeting.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Thomas like murdered a bus full of people that he kidnapped because they were like getting a picture of his face or something.
Well, they were gonna release. It was
Yeah.
the only way to save the
Yeah,
planet
no, a
at
lot
that
of
point.
we have a lot of good memories. Like you guys went to that World of Warcraft like virtual world to murder
Yeah,
that
that
guy.
was really memorable. Yeah, that was a good one.
In
But then we didn't
Sprawl.
even kill him in there.
No.
Even though you could have, we found it much easier to just like blow up his house. That's okay.
Yeah,
Much easier.
explosives are often just like the golden key. But Gug died in a car bomb in one Sprawl, like on session like 2.
Yeah,
That was
sad.
crazy.
And then I became Desolation Williams.
Yeah,
That
which
was
was
great.
like
That
your
really went-
your burnout.
Yeah.
Like you're like
I
I'm
was
just
pissed
gonna,
off.
But yeah, then there was like the that one campaign ended with the space job.
Yeah, that was before the mayor got one.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if Flex Johnson was that one or the next
I
one.
think it was the space job.
Yeah.
I thought he lived happily ever after for some reason, but the space one didn't live happily ever after.
No.
Maybe there was a fourth one. Have we done it 4 times?
No, I know that one was because I remember you had some like Japanese gangsters that were coming to rough up your place, and I, as Artemis, had to like stop them. Then I kidnapped 2 of them to do experiments on them.
That was a different one.
Oh yeah,
Space
you
one.
uploaded
that was the same
at the
one.
end of that campaign. You uploaded. Your
I was in a robot
consciousness
body.
into an-
Yeah.
yeah.
And that's why I could survive jumping out of the spaceship.
Well,
Yeah.
Phil was like,
I was so close.
How did
Yeah.
I get convinced to go to space?
yeah, no, that
Because
was.
I'm pretty
You
sure
had-
I had everything set up.
You
That was
guys-
like one last job.
You guys got sent up in like in a equipment rocket. It like wasn't designed to take people.
Right.
And you guys
we
were
had to
smuggled-
smuggle ourselves in. I
I
remember
think
that.
in character I probably didn't have a reason. Other than
I
just
don't
party,
think you did.
Party cohesion.
One last job.
There was also that job where you infiltrated like the broadcast building and you had to make your bullshit school. So you like
that
had
was so
the
good.
field trip.
That was such a good plan.
Yeah.
But it didn't work because bluffing is
Well,
terrible.
it worked. It worked to an
It
extent.
worked to an extent.
Yeah.
Like, if you put, because all it takes is just one failed dice roll and the entire plan fails.
Yep.
And you have to make like a lot of them, so it's just a
Well,
really
It's
bad
tricky.
strategy.
And,
Yeah.
dude-
it's tricky.
Dude, and the campaign one, it didn't start like that at all. You guys were just in Miami as a bunch of criminals, and then you slaughtered all those cops in the bayou or something, and then you had to
No,
just
that was
reload
because I thought the guy would come out
the
for his own
alligator.
gator that he loved,
Yeah.
and he sent like 2 separate teams
He
instead.
refused
That
to
was
come.
very funny. I just completely reset the campaign like a whole different city and just start
Yeah,
over.
because it was recorded on like the dash
Because
camera.
we killed all the cops, and they were recording from the dash cam, so we were just like, fuck it.
Yeah.
Let's sell all these guns. And
I
that
mean-
guy you knew on the reservation. You were a Native American.
You were.
Dude, this is a different one. There's been like
Nope.
4.
Dude,
I swear.
That was in the election one
What?
that he was Native American.
Right, that was the
No, that
Miami
was
one.
Turok.
Yeah.
That was T-Rock.
T-Rock, yes.
And that was not Flex.
No.
Oh, no, that was the campaign one. Okay, so yeah.
So the
that is
mayor, the
third.
Mayor Gug
Yeah.
one, you were a Native American.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, it just makes sense.
Sprawl's my favorite RPG.
Well, I mean, just talking about all the different stories, it does make it tempting to go back.
Sprawl.
Yeah. Because, yeah, I
You
mean,
guys recently do that?
Sprawl,
I don't know.
Sprawl is like
nah, not more.
Sprawl's like near future tech. So it's everything's relatable, but if there's something cool that doesn't exist, often there's room for it to exist in Sprawl. So it's kind of a nice medium between like not going way too crazy sci-fi, but having like elements of that. So
I mean, I've never played it, so I'm not gonna give an opinion either way.
well, and as far as systems go, you're rolling with like 2d6 for like everything. It uses like the dungeon world / a lot of there's a number that use it now, but it's like you have like a full success, a success with complications,
Yep, I know.
and a failure, and stats and all that's pretty simple. So really, you can reduce the amount of rolling a lot just by your narrative choices and stuff. So
We last played a year ago.
It's been that long.
Because I listened to.
Yes.
yeah, because Mang
May of last year.
Maine gave me a couple
Were
of
you?
breaks before this. We did a few sessions with Warhammer. What was before Warhammer?
Warhammer 40k.
Yeah.
Stars Without Number.
Oh, that was the Big Stars campaign. Yeah. Well, big as in relatively big. I mean, that lasted.
Oh, there was also
That one we just ended.
We did.
Because
Phil.
hated it.
Phil was on ice from that. Oh, we did freaking Dungeon World. Or no, we did DCC. We did
Yeah.
the big. Yeah,
We
that's
did
right.
That was what turned into DCC Sim.
It got you guys refused to leave the safety of you majorly were King Theoden like up in his golden hall, but being the one manipulating him because you weren't the
we were successful.
I never
You were.
fought a monster, but I had full plate mail. I just bought it.
You should have started brawling guys in the pit. Like, you must be shirtless. I will wear my armor. We will see who wins.
Everyone's afraid to beat me in a fight, so it's like, let me beat him up in armor.
What happened in Warhammer?
We went into the house
The Den of Evil.
where
the-
they were like harvesting.
The poorhouse, yeah.
They were like,
yeah,
and
right.
we did not have the firepower to overcome that situation.
No.
I mean, we might have had the firepower to take out like the first group of enemies and then run and like get back up, but we didn't roll very well, and so we all like
And
died.
Merch
right
had
away.
gone in by himself.
Yeah, we made him the undercover guy.
That was
And
that
he
was
just,
a
like-
one session campaign, right?
Two sessions.
and he just went to sleep.
Yep. You're supposed to wake up.
Yeah.
You just wake.
He went undercover and we never retrieved.
He went under the covers and he did not emerge from above the covers. So, and I mean, Mert just kind of stepped out. I don't know if he wants to come back now that the Buck season's over.
I mean, I don't know if we're gonna make a decision based on his presence.
No, but I still want to make rumblings to the chat.
Phil doesn't even see rumblings.
He feels rumbling.
Yeah, before Warhammer's DCC, before that was Paranoia,
What?
one shot,
Oh yeah, the one shot.
and then it was Stars,
Yep.
which went on for a while.
Yeah, Stars was lengthier.
They started in the Dells.
We
Then-
started it in November.
Then Icons.
The
Can't
villain.
keep
He
getting
can't
away
keep
with
getting
this.
away with it. God, the most iconic villain was the player character.
Icons was
That was
already.
pretty funny.
That was in
building-
October.
Yeah.
Adventure.
Bloomhaven, which
Where's
was
that?
shadows in that town that I was trying to make underground.
Oh.
And we kept trying to cut off the trade supplies, right?
Yeah, we
Let's just
slaughtered
take
a
a
bunch
break
of
and
farmers.
do Gloomhaven campaign. That really doesn't have an end.
Before that was Godbound.
Oh, yep.
That's the first one.
And
I
then
came
before
back to.
that was Sprawl.
Sprawl. So you came right after a Sprawl,
Yep.
and now you might be able to experience.
And I
a
remember
Sprawl.
that because we had just finished a game that would have benefited from more people, and we went into a game that
We
didn't
talked about
benefit
this.
from having
Yeah,
more
We
people
had the most players ever
for
for
Godbound.
Godbound, and we were thinking oh, this is a setting where it's actually okay if you only have 2 or 3 because everyone has so much abilities and stuff. And then Sprawl, it's great when you have a team where everyone can do a nice specific role because
Yeah.
you can't be good at everything with a Sprawl character. You have to kind of commit. So yeah, so
Here we
basically-
are with the same amount of Sprawl people. that
well,
you guys
right. I mean,
had.
it would be great if one of them comes back, but I never know. I mean, maybe they will. This could be
Maybe Phil likes Sprawl.
I think Phil loves.
He
Sprawl.
does so we're gonna
He might, and Alan Murr's gone. He might be back.
like Mert's just
Right.
out of the picture. He's dead.
I mean, I
'cause
understand taking a
This
break.
could be the last one before WoW Classic, and then Will might waver for WoW Classic, or we're Mondays are just a few raid nights in a row. Or, I don't know. Everything will come into
Well,
vision.
then that
but-
means Thomas has to be a part of WoW Classic.
He is a part of WoW Class.
I mean, he's gonna try it, right? Maybe.
I've never played it.
No, there's a lot of people I think who have never played it. That
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Now you can play WoW from
'Cause-
the beginning.
Time.
because I mean, Gyro's gonna try it, and
Maybe.
I hear stories about people that are gonna try it for the first time.
And then you have 2 experts.
But
Like
I mean,
right here. I played before
it's
Manning played.
it's I don't.
Yeah.
It's I don't want to just
For a little
totally give myself over to its corrupting influence unless everyone gives himself over, because then I won't feel like I'm isolating my friends I get to see somewhat regularly. So it's gonna be interesting times.
Just change Mondays into Gloomhaven, and we start Gloomhaven.
So you do campaigns in Gloomhaven?
You
What
do
is
A
it?
campaign.
A
do
campaign.
A campaign, and you do scenarios.
This is a video game.
It's a board game.
Is it deck building? No.
A very, very minor.
Small deck.
A
Okay.
very minor.
What was the name of that one game we played where my character had that overpowered range attack at the beginning, and you want to get treasure chests but also complete the challenges?
Arcadia Quest.
How does Gloomhaven compare to Arcadia Quest? Are they kind of similar?
Well, there's no PvP
Okay.
of any kind,
Okay.
and it's
That's okay.
a lot better.
So it's like that D&D thing that you can
It's
do too.
D&D. I always described it as D&D built into a board
It's
game.
Yeah.
sort of like that. The combat is way better and way more involved. I mean,
I'd be down to
probably
try
my
it.
favorite board game, but I mean, do you have a fresh copy?
But why do you need a fresh copy?
Isn't your board all marked?
What do you mark on the board?
You put stickers on.
On the town board? I don't have a copy. I could probably buy a copy though. Maybe a fresh copy. If that's something we wanted to do.
Well, I'd be open to it.
I mean, I've played many hours of it, so
Same.
I wouldn't pick it over an RPG night. It would be fun though if we had a second night, but as it stands,
And I think if you really want to, I mean, this is a very abstract concept, but if you really want to reel Phil back in, we might want to do
If I ever.
right, exactly. Might want to do one board game break Monday because he'd come to that and then
And
you
then
could
we
tell.
lock him in.
Right,
And then you can't escape.
exactly.
There's no way
He
he'd be
sees,
like.
he sees the new group dynamic. He sees Mert's not here. And he's like, all right, this feels like
But
home
Mert might come to the board game night.
Yep. And but I
No,
don't think that's gonna
Me,
scare away
me and
Phil.
my brother have locked him down for his one night. He's allowed to leave his house.
Phil,
He does Gloomhaven.
I mean, Phil just told me candidly that he's played enough RPGs now where it's like it doesn't really matter the group he's with. He just doesn't enjoy it as much as board games. Wow. So
I mean,
that-
I'm still in that boat. I don't
Yeah.
enjoy it as much as board games.
but to you, it's not something where it's like
I still enjoy it.
yeah, it's not something where you're just like I have no interest in doing
Yeah.
it. Where because that's a hard line to
Well,
draw
I mean,
because
We're like that at some point.
Yeah, I
Sure,
was.
hated RPGs.
There was, yeah. I mean, there was a point where I did not enjoy them as much. It's better now, I think.
I mean,
I've almost forgotten what a board game day feels like.
well, that's what I'm saying. We
Like,
can.
go to bees
That's-
afterwards and stuff.
That's why I'm suggesting we can have
Well, it wasn't always bees afterwards.
in between. This is the best
Used to
time to
have,
have
like,
one before
Sunday
you jump
board
into
game
it.
days.
Yeah.
But that was way back.
Thursday.
That was
board
post
game
brunch.
day.
Yeah.
Post brunch
That was
board
the
game
original
day.
with Bobby and like other people in the mix.
Yeah,
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
I was talking to Scott the other day about doing a once a month natty brunch.
That seems pretty reasonable.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot better than every week.
Yeah, for your digestive system, for your wallet, for a lot of
I
things.
think
yeah.
Gloomhaven will be a lot of fun with us, but that's some it's something that doesn't end though.
Yeah, it's a huge time commitment.
I mean,
How
but we
much
don't.
time?
It's not something we also need to do every week because it's not like this huge amazing
Yeah,
story.
but I mean, if you break up a campaign, that's iffy.
Yeah, because I mean, we had 1 week off from this, and I could tell the memory of like the previous week was really shoddy. Which I don't blame you for. Like I've been there. I've been in that same boat where it's like I have the benefit of like reading through this and being familiar with stuff, but I'm like, yeah, that was this person who you had talked. Like I definitely help remind you guys of that. And
That might have been
Okay.
part of like why I went off the rails because we were like, we're just in a situation, didn't remember what to do. So
yeah,
it's like,
yeah, no, and your leads can fade. I mean,
Yeah.
it can definitely happen where you don't really remember what your best bet was because this game it's very important that you like try and take some notes. And Studs was doing a good job with the calendar. Having that day by day was nice. So
we started that late.
late-ish, but yeah. Again we've discussed that actually you guys were very close to advancing, but it was a deadly fumble. So
I'd play Netrunner over an RPG.
You play what?
Android Netrunner.
I don't know what that is.
Mr. Pemba.
Is
It's a
that-
major Kaiwan type thing.
He's from Kaiwan. What is Kaiwan?
Kaiwan is one of the names for Caster, I think.
Oh.
So it's definitely not meaningless.
Okay.
What is Netrunner?
Kaiwan's
That
mentioned
card
already.
game we played, remember? It was 2-player card game.
It's fine.
One
So,
player was the runner, one was the corp.
so this is the
2 players.
That doesn't-
Remember we did like 2v2 or
Oh.
we had 2 games going on.
Yeah.
so this is like the queen of card. You can actually bring her back to Earth with you. It's fine. It says like it's probably a really bad idea, but you can do that, and she like will take to the male investigator with the highest appearance. So you could like bring a wife home from
Would that have been
Carcosa if you
me?
wanted.
Not me.
Yeah.
12. He got.
Here's some-
We were tied,
here's
but
some
he got
cool
it
stuff,
lost.
though. There's these Haster
Oh,
stats right here.
Is that the
Elephant
sack?
gun.
No Haster.
Was Haster the sack?
Haster, you could not harm him.
Was he the sack?
No, that was a spawn of Haster.
Oh man. Oh, not even the full thing.
Nope. He has 30 points of armor. So even if you rolled max damage with your elephant gun, you would not be able to harm him.
You would do 8. So you'd have to do 31 damage
So,
to do 1
so
damage.
he has a 100% chance to hit you with Tentacle Claw. It doesn't even tell me damage. It says damage death. But it does give his damage bonus of 13d6.
I mean, if you
Yeah.
kill a great old one, Your DM should never run Call of
Well,
Cthulhu
no,
again.
I mean you're playing a different game
Yeah,
at that
you're
point.
fucking
You're
up.
playing Godbound instead of Call
Right,
of Cthulhu
yeah.
if you kill a great old one.
So what do you do?
That
So
would
is
be
the goal
cool
to
campaign.
not have Hester's?
Yes, you're to prevent him from being summoned, which you certainly can do. And if he does get summoned, you can run away and possibly remain sane if you get like a passing glance at him. If you get a full view at him, you have a very high chance of going insane on the spot. So
My vote
Yeah.
is Sprawl or Netrunner.
Oh, so it's Sprawl. Two
I
player
mean,
game.
I would love to have a separate night where we played Gloomhaven every week, but you already have that, so.
I have 2 campaigns going on.
he's willing to have 3. That shows you how much he loves
I mean,
Gloomhaven. I guess.
Gloomhaven's one of my favorite
Yeah,
board games.
I would say
That's
it's
impressive.
better than Cosmic as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm at that point too.
It's really damn good, but
I've never.
I have a love in my heart for RPGs.
Yeah.
The thing about like playing, like you don't just play one thing of Gloomhaven. You can't. Like
No, that would be pointless.
me and my brothers have played 5 sessions, I think, and we just hit level 2 last session.
In 5 sessions.
Yeah. Takes that long, and there's 10 levels. But you'll most likely retire the character before level 10, and then you'll start a new character, which starts at the level that your guy was at when you retire him. And like you
Sounds
level up.
interesting to me, but yeah, I don't know. I've never really. No, of RPG settings, I think I like Sprawl the best as well.
Yeah.
You don't want to attempt to DM it, do you? I'm happy to DM, but
Whoa.
it would be cool. It would be cool to be a player once in Sprawl too.
That's true. Never played, except surely I ran a one shot.
Of Sprawl?
Yeah.
Yeah, I probably when you were introducing the system. Yeah, because you're usually the introducer,
Right.
and then I take on. So I'll just put that out there. You got time to think about it.
How much
None.
prep do you normally do for Sprawl?
Well, I mean, the first session you like want to figure out your setting, because you want a setting that like you're excited about, as far as how big of a city do you want, and then you want to establish like, okay, what are the big established crime presences there? Because you're not going to be the only gang in town. So like rival gangs, runners, you have a few of those, and then I usually design a handful of corps. And we'll base a lot just off of the Shadowrun ones, but you do need to get a few of those down. So I think first session's probably the most, but then it depends on the party, because sometimes you guys just go full freeform mode, and
We left Miami to go to New
yeah.
York.
So
Left
you
the
know,
entire setting.
so
very randomly.
so then prep becomes like just making sure I remember everything that happened, so that like maybe I can develop stuff based off of that. But
What about when you did your 3 mission setup?
that was a little bit like, so I'd have
Oh yeah, that's
maybe
like
I still have some of
technically-
that in here
That's
where I can
like
show you an
by
example.
by the book. That's kind of how it's supposed to be set up, right? Like a job per
Well, yeah, you do a mission
mission
per
or something.
session, but I don't think you always offer 3 like that. But I like that setup.
So more like episodic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I did the. Did I run a campaign? I just did the one shot. I feel like I ran one as well.
You ran something?
I think for like 2 sessions.
What are we talking about?
Really early on. It was D&D still.
Yeah, you ran
Right.
something.
So when it was a 3 session setup, I probably would do about an hour of prep, which is very light compared to other
Compared
things.
to like D&D.
Because that's where it's like, okay, because in Sprawl you have like your, I forget what they call it. I mean, I had to just open the book again. I'd remember a lot of stuff, but it's like where you kind of check these boxes based on like how much heat you're generating, because then you have little like things where it's like, okay, if they do this much stuff like loudly, you introduce this problem, and then you kind of pile on top of that. But then if you're gonna have something that involves like an installation or like a corporate office or like it, you really want to just have like a little sketch of like your floor plans and stuff like that. So it's like if they ask like, okay, I walk in here, what do I see? You don't have to just come up with something on the fly like, can say like, okay, you see
You're gonna be doing enough of that anyway.
you see high-end furniture, you see a laptop on a glass table, and you see a sentry gun, or you see, you want to like be able to have a little bit of idea with that. So sprawl, I think, it's definitely not something where you just don't do anything, because you want to have stuff depending on where the players are kind of steering things, but it's really not that bad. It's a lot of it is not tied to the system itself, but just having like concrete things for them to encounter, because then, with sprawl, if enough preparation and descriptions given, you don't always have to have them make moves, but then if you do have them make a roll, you need to try and have it so that, as they say, there's meaningful consequences if they fail. Like, it's not just one of those things where it's like, okay, you fail and then you can try again in 5 minutes. Like, if it's that sort of thing, you should just have it take like a certain amount of time instead, and then maybe the security system trips while they're doing it, or you have like guards show up at the end of that process. But I think as far as DMing, I wouldn't say that one thing's easier than another, but for me at least, DMing sprawl is usually not that stressful, and it's fun to kind of, depending on where the campaign goes. I mean, how I was kind of preparing for the election one was totally different from the other one, because it's like, with the election one, it was just like week to week what developments are happening that can keep things interesting, like what counter campaigns are going on, like his rivals, like I need to think of like the things they're doing to sabotage or get the head up on him. Whereas the job one, it's like, okay, I just need to think of different ideas like that are different feeling from each other, like vehicle theft, hacking related, con man stuff. So yeah.
So I can kind of see like the 3-job thing. That saying, it's like you kind of think of 3 kind of concrete things. You can kind of steer it a little bit more.
Well, and here's the thing: with the 3-job thing, you know that a third of your preparation is going to be immediately useful for that session. But the other 2/3 that you do spend writing stuff down and stuff, you can translate that later on to something useful. You won't necessarily like come the next week and say, okay, I pitched the exact same job, you didn't take it, but it's still sitting there. But you might use like contacts that you had for that job, or you could just imagine something playing through in your head, like maybe someone else took those jobs, but now there's new problems or new jobs the next week related to that. So
I remember the one where we had to like escort that guy through the woods.
Yeah, the haunted forest.
Yeah,
it was like the tourism industry. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That was
the bear campaign.
The what?
Where I had the robot bear. Remember?
Was that a fourth?
That was where we
Sprawl campaign?
hijacked the plane.
Yep.
That was where you really fucked up with your bluffs, because you were watching the gate.
Is this the same? This is probably the same character as the school bus or school building one.
I think that was that one.
Yeah.
Right, that was an earlier one, and then we did the forest thing or something.
Yep.
Yeah.
That forest.
Bluffing just.
I got.
Worked.
And that was the thing where that was a fun opportunity for me as a DM, was like, okay, the setting is sprawl, but this is still supposed to be a creepy haunted forest. How do you manifest that in like a cyberpunk setting? And so, I still had you guys like witnessing weird things, and if you would have followed up, it wouldn't necessarily be like the spirits of dead people, but like maybe something of that mixed with high technology. Like in one of the caves, there was that thing I think you guys like caught a glimpse of or something, which was like, I don't know what I ended up ruling.
That was where he had all his Takuma Davidsons, and they were
they
like
came
the
back
fodder during the slasher movie.
I think that was basically, it was like a projection from like an AI that like trapped like somebody's soul or something. Like I had more notes on it at the time, but you can really just do almost anything in sprawl because of like it's sprawl. It's magic.
That bear was so fucking awesome.
Yeah,
I just suck at like thinking of names and shit on the spot.
well, for sprawl you can do just super Americanized normal name, like you can.
Unless you're in Tokyo.
Nope. Then you got to do Hanju,
Yep.
Takata stuff. Like you just.
Tsushimi Han.
All right. I think I've said all that I need to say.
So sprawl it is.
Okay.
I guess we decided on that.
Yep. I mean, I'll ask Gyro if in 2 weeks she wants to run her one shot. If she says yes, that'll be the second interlude, and then we'll get into Sprawl. But if not, then we can begin Sprawl 1 week from now, or 2 weeks from now. I want to have the one board game interlude.
Oh yeah, what kind of board game?
We could play. We could play Cult.
You already played that once, right?
Yep, and it was fantastic.
Okay.
Love to play it again. Any other games? I think open to discussion.
Doesn't matter to me.
Hey, there's Boogle. Thomas, do you see how close Boogle is to you?
Oh wow.
That's a rare.
He thinks the door is closed.
No, he doesn't think
No.
that.
I think he's definitely grown more confident that if someone approaches him, he can still just withdraw quickly enough.
He's fast.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we'll mention it to Phil and Mert.
Good attempt, Studs. Good attempt. Yep.
Otherwise, there's always Netrunner.
Isn't that a 2-player game we keep mentioning?
Not if we play heroic mode, where all three of us are against Mang, but he gets to start with massive resource advantage.
There are rules for that, yes.
That's funny. I didn't even know that, but it doesn't surprise me that they have patience for that. Which I think you'd still probably win the vast majority of the time, just because of your vastly superior knowledge in the game. But I was starting to learn like some card combos and synergies at the end, so I mean, I don't think we'd be hopeless.
Best board game ever made.
Yeah. It's too bad they don't have. Well, I shouldn't assume that they don't have a worthy digital client for it, but
They don't.
okay. I'm like, if they do, it certainly hasn't been marketed very well, because like I'd probably try it if it was like anywhere near the quality of like a Hearthstone client, or even like Elder Scrolls Legends. I mean, that was fun for a few months, but at least it was
A few days.
yeah, that's more honest. Like 1 month I played it, so I'll return this nice book to you. Oh, not this one.
Okay.
Yeah, you know what's funny, Mang? You were like really suspicious of that nurse at the asylum like right away when you're like, why is he looking at me? And there he is. He's one of the principal antagonists of the game. So that would have made a nightmare for me if you tried to like murder him that night or something. I mean,
I was planning to be way more off the rails, but
yeah,
I'm trying to rein myself in.
well, no, because it's like, yeah, it'd be great if like we had an experience close to like Mass where you get really far into it and stuff. But I don't even know. I mean, we got like maybe 2/3 of the way through Masks with help from Golk. I know. Yeah.
I mean, you reached unending of Mask.
Okay, we did reach.
So
Okay, yeah.
there was that. The benefit of Mask was that there was never a TBK.
I thought
Nope.
I just got killed in an alleyway.
No, I'm talking about when I first ran.
We did a
Online.
long one online.
Yeah, and people just died one by one.
Yep. And Reginald Linden would just, Reginald Steinway would just like marshal everybody in, because he'd make pacts with Nyarlathotep to keep things
Yep.
going. So
That helps.
dude, he had a mighty Cthulhu mythos at the end. I was just
I've ever seen.
I was just casting Fist of Yog-Sothoth on people in Cairo, and it's an incredible experience.
What was your mythos?
I think it was like 40 something.
That's ridiculous.
That's higher than like most cultists get in a book.
Yeah.
So like when people would,
He was a cultist.
yeah, I was like, okay, I'm your man, which is funny because like in a way I was like actively working against him, but he didn't even care at that point.
But I mean, you
Yeah.
called on him for like the littlest of things. Like some police like came to talk to you, and you were just like, "Get me out of here!" And then you just like snapped away your butler and like your best friend. That was the price to pay.
It was really, Faustian. Like,
Yes.
yeah.
I had 9 already in this one, so that's pretty freaking ridiculous.
Yeah, no, I mean,
That was a
you
lengthy campaign.
you found the first 2 tomes that you could get right away. There was another tome. There was another unique tome in Bacon's house, so you would have been in the double digits there. And yep,
What can you even do with it?
the tomes.
With
Cthulhu
mythos
mythos?
skill?
There's just certain times where it says like, oh, a person who makes a Cthulhu mythos check will be able to identify that they're in Carcosa, or they'll be able to recognize this as it can be very important sometimes, but you never need Cthulhu Mythos to succeed, because that means you're just on the path to insanity anyway. So, but it also, in order to cast spells, you need Cthulhu Mythos too, and spells have like limited use. I mean, it's just kind of cool because of how rare they are. Like, it's really hard to actually get spells in the game, so that's usually where the fun comes. Is like, well, I'm going to use these spells, but try and use it against, Caster or Cthulhu or whatever. But it's like, that you're already on that road, and so it's a very delicate line. And there's Kitty.
Yeah.
By the way, how's he doing?
He seems a little better.
Did you end up going to the vet yet, or
No.
and Boogles? You see him, Thomas?
No.
If you look
Why
closely,
not?
you'll see him again.